Welcome to the Comic Book Babylon, the best show on Saturday nights. Just waiting on Dustin to get here. That's why we use 60 seconds tonight. He's flipping some comic books. He's the comic book chiropractor, so he has to flip and dip and press and squeeze comic books, but he'll be on in just a second. Hello. All right. Hello. Biggest mistake in comic books. Also want to talk about Rotten Tomatoes giving out their comic book TV show awards or something I saw. I'd like to look at those. Also got a big stack of pickups today. I did. Got some big stacks. So, Tyler, that's very rude. Terribly rude. What's up, Ruben? Agu, what's happening? Look, it happens. It happens. Chris, I enjoy a good pork rind, but I don't have any. What's up, Warlord? Tyler, I think you should message Justin right now and see if he's going to jump on because he's not responded to me this afternoon. I said, Justin, do you want to jump on? I even invited Josh. I was like, Josh, you want to jump on? Because I had a conversation with him about comic book mistakes. We can talk manga. Definitely can talk some manga. Yes, for sure. What's up, Perry? Cap'n Comics, what's happening? Perry, no cracklins. They're okay every once in a while. It is not. Well, you work on Saturday nights. You're probably at work right now. Now, with that being said, Perry, how's the video game thing going, man? I was this close like 2 weeks ago to buying a Stream Deck, and then I added it all up, put it in my cart, and I'm like, look, if I'm going to spend that kind of money, might as well get the best one. And I put it in my cart, and it was a ridiculous amount of money, but I was still going to do it. I'm like, okay. And then I start looking up Stream Deck games because I really wanted to play like Halo, some of the Star Wars games. None of them are like available for what do you call it? Stream Deck. So I thought that was terribly dumb. Terribly dumb. I was quite frustrated. So thankfully I didn't buy it. I need to find those old Xbox games. But anyways, guys, Rotten Tomatoes. Has anybody seen their list of best shows, best comic book movies, all of that, right? Let's see. See if I can find that real quick. Rotten Tomatoes. Let's see. Hold on. Getting it pulled up. See if we can get it pulled up here. You would really think this list would be really easy to find. It is what it is. I was just curious. Oh, sick. Yeah, we talked about some retro gaming last week, and I have it's in my closet right now, but it's a like a retro pie is basically what it is, and it's super interesting because you can basically emulate all of these games. But I still don't think it's as cool of an experience as Nintendo, GameCube, original Xbox, PlayStation. Yeah. Yeah. See, I like to have stuff kind of mobile, and so that's why I have a hard time sitting still. And I have the OLED Switch, and I played Kakarot, and that was basically it. Like I love Kakarot, but then I have all these other games I bought, like the Zelda game everybody loves. Never played it. Yeah, I wish you could emulate Game Boy games on there though. I just need 90s Game Boys. Yeah, for sure. Absolute best experience. Absolute best experience. So, but anywho's, what is going on with everybody today? At some point, Dustin will jump on. Let's see. I want to find this stupid Rotten Tomato. Show list. Oh, guys, when does The Last of Us come on, by the way? Because I am very curious about that. You know what's crazy is you type in Rotten Tomatoes, and Rotten Tomatoes doesn't even come up first. How is that? That blows my mind. Okay, here we go, guys. I found it. Pardon me. Gotta call your mom. What's up, Mountain Peak? Yeah, so, like I said, it's fine, it's cool, and, like, I have, this wireless, 8-bit do 8-bit do, whatever they call them, the controllers, and then I have, arcade sticks. I'm not even I'm sure there's an actual word for it, but where, like, with when you're playing Mortal Kombat or something like that, you can actually, get on there and really, play like you would, back in the day, so I am I'm it's just not something I thought I was gonna spend more time and ended up not. So, it is what it is. See, I don't even know if they have comic book in here anymore. Oh, best comic ooh, this is a good one. Best comic book movie. I wonder what will be the best. The Batman #1. Absolutely. I genuinely and I'm sorry, guys, I'm still getting over a cough, but, I'm not shocked because it was pretty good, but I'm wondering how if this is based on fans or based on some weirdo Rotten Tomato going, Last of Us tomorrow, 9 p.m. I'm actually really intrigued by this show. We'll see. Oh, that's a good question. What was the best retro? We'll say like pre PS. No, PS. Nah. Is PS3 considered retro? I mean, hell, at this point, I think PS4 is whatever 10 years old. Wow. We'll say anything previous to PS2. What is the best console? For me, it would either have to be Xbox. I did love GameCube, but yeah. Yeah. Oh, that would be sick. I would like to build one of those. I've seen some people build them. But all right, so Batman #1, super. What do you guys think? I think that one definitely is up there. I did finally see Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Was not as bad as I thought it was, but they still didn't do Namor as good as I felt they could. But yeah, it was fine. Honest, I saw that Angela Bassett won an award, which is fine. But honestly, for me, I felt like Letitia Wright was way better. She was the standout for me. Werewolf by Night. I think Werewolf by Night was my favorite thing Marvel put out all year. Favorite thing, bar none. Thor: Love and Thunder, terrible. Literally should have been not even on this list. Black Adam for me would have been top two, top three. Batman, Werewolf, Black Adam. Samaritan, I had no clue this was about superheroes. Does anybody know about this one? Exactly, for sure. Did you guys has anybody watched Samaritan? I am intrigued. I'm gonna open up a new tab and look at that later. And then Morbius. Oh my gosh, too funny. Morbius was not great. Wasn't fantastic. Was not fantastic. So yeah, honestly, the Thor: Love and Thunder, terrible, absolutely horrendous, absolutely bad. All right, let's see. Best reviewed movies, TV, best TV series, 2022. I'm intrigued. Andor was pretty good. House of the Dragon were good. Miss Marvel, I didn't watch it, so maybe it was great. Let's see, and I wanna say The Boys was great, although I'm kinda over how nasty it is. She-Hulk doesn't deserve to be anywhere on this list for top anything. I'm curious if there's any other comic book movies here. Harley Quinn, I stopped that one. That one got really rough for me. Lord of the Rings deserves nowhere near on this list. It was awful. Huh. Intriguing. I still want to know about the Samaritan, though. Has anybody seen this movie? Let's see. I'm not enabling ads. The Samaritan. Anybody seen this? No.
Wait up, wait up. What are you doing with all this
His
junk?
old butt.
Keeps me busy.
Another long
Has anybody read this
crime and violence.
comic?
Some say it's only a matter of time before the city implodes.
Oh, Lord.
I think we're finished here. Go on, beat it.
So is this going to be cheesy?
I found him. Samaritan.
I may give Miss
Samaritan
Marvel
died 25
an
years ago.
attempt, but She-Hulk was god
That's
awful.
what they say.
Ooh.
You think you live across from a superhero? Do you have a therapist, kid?
Kid. Samaritan.
Has anybody who made this comic book? Let's see. Samaritan comic book. Let's see. Kurt Busiek. Yeah, but I don't know who published this. Yeah, I've never even heard. Astro City Comic? No? Yes? I have no clue, guys. Hey, Dustin's here. Yeah, guys, I don't know. Interesting.
Is dead. I don't believe you. For some people, the things you buried.
He is way too old to be doing this.
Hey, old man.
Stallone's never too old
Try
for
this.
anything, man.
Nah, dude. I mean, this was one of the top rated comic book movies.
Oh, is that what you were looking at?
Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes released their list of, bullshit.
Oh,
that
yeah,
nobody
I'm
actually
sure
cares
Rotten
about. Oh,
Tomatoes is...
yeah. Oh, by the way, we have to be careful with cussing. YouTube is now really taking that seriously.
Oh, are they?
Oh, yeah. People are very upset.
Let me tell you what I think about that, YouTube.
Probably not right now. All right, so this is what it was. People should
What I think
Miss
about
Marvel,
YouTube.
but it was pretty true to the character, the themes of the comic. It was also made for younger. Yeah, and like I said, I never watched it. It very well could be great. I've heard wonderful things. I don't know enough about her, and like you said, it was kind of made for younger audiences, which I think is great. It should. So, I think the only complaints I personally heard was that her powers weren't true to the comic books, and they also made her a mutant over an Inhuman. Just again, I don't know. It's just what I've heard.
Where did they rank the Batman?
But yeah, maybe I should give it a shot just to be able to say I've watched it all. It can't be worse than She-Hulk or Thor: Love and Thunder.
This thing
So
on?
Huh?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So where did they rank the Batman?
There you go.
Okay, well, at least they got that right.
And then Wakanda Forever, which honestly is I'm not super upset by. Werewolf by Night.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I think I actually kind of liked Doctor Strange better than Wakanda,
I did not.
just because I thought Wanda was so good.
Yeah, but they didn't give us enough of her. I should rewatch Doctor Strange.
I don't know. I think they did a significant amount of Wanda, actually.
Yeah.
Werewolf by Night definitely needs to be at the top. Where did they put the Christmas special?
It's not on here.
Really? Well, then, yeah, they're definitely full of crap. Thor: Love and Thunder at 5. Oh, hold on. What's up, Dan?
Dustin,
hello,
good to see
Dan.
you. How are you guys doing today? Good to
All
be
right,
on.
man.
What
We're,
are we
fantastic.
watching here? What is this list here?
Rotten Tomatoes
This
score
is
of the ranking of superhero content that came out this year.
Okay.
So Thor: Love and Thunder at
Just
5.
movies.
Okay.
So Thor: Love and Thunder at 5. That is no way that should be there. No way. It shouldn't even be on the list.
Yep. Yeah, and then Black Adam should have been top 4 probably for me. Samaritan, I never even heard of this. It came out this year, and it's what we were watching the previews of. I don't even know what the comic book is. I couldn't even find it. And then Morbius, which was intriguing.
Since I'm joining late, what was the top 3 or 4 of this list?
Batman, Black Panther, and Werewolf by Night.
No, not at all. Batman wasn't bad at all. Black Panther was good. I say Black Adam was the best movie so far this year.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it as well. So to me, I felt like it was a perfect comic book movie. It kind of reminded me of like the old Iron Man #1 kind of movie where it was just at its roots just a good movie. So
I'm clearly in the right place because that's exactly what I thought was we get into the conversation about DC. But anyway, go ahead and finish up.
No, you're fine. But I was just kind of going through these because Dustin was so late getting here, and I saw the post where people were talking about how what do you call it for the TV shows, best TV series of 2022. Miss Marvel was the best comic book TV show, which this is pretty interesting to me, this list, because House of the Dragon was honestly pretty good, but there's not a lot of stakes because everybody kind of knows what's already going to happen. Andor season 1 was terrible starting off. It took me like months to even get through the first 3, but as I finished it was fantastic. Miss Marvel, again, I'd never saw it, and I probably should. But then you scroll down and then they have like
it's still on. Good Lord.
It just finished up its last one.
Okay.
The Boys, which was fine. I'm just kind of over it being, but the fact that She-Hulk was even on the top anything is terrible.
What did they base this on?
Let's see.
The hidden messages left inside of the content. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. The movie and TV rankings represent the most up-to-date tomato meter scores as of December, are ordered by adjusted score, which is a weighted formula that compensates for the variation number of reviews comparing movies to TV shows. So basically just wherever the F they decided they wanted to do. Like this right here tells you right now it is a weighted formula. That's just their verbiage for saying wherever the hell we want to put up. We don't really give a damn. Like if you have a weighted formula, put out what the formula is. Disclose that. But it doesn't matter. I mean,
typically these type of organizations, they don't read comics. They don't understand the characters.
Exactly.
They're going what others who also don't know what the comic book world actually contains. Rather, they're going on what they say. So this is a meaningless list.
Oh, for sure. Most like Golden Globes, all of those things are just pointless. It's just Hollywood yanking their own chain, if you know what I mean. So I don't take them seriously. But I was intrigued whenever I started seeing posts about certain comic book movies and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I certainly don't take these serious at all. Kenneth, what's up, man? Does Dan have pork rinds? I don't think so.
Do I have what?
Pork rinds. They were talking about pork rinds earlier.
Oh, okay.
Chicharrones. The only reason she was an Inhuman, not a mutant in the comics was because she was made during the time Marvel pretended mutants didn't exist. Oh, yeah, for sure. Kenneth, hope you're doing well. Right on, man. I will check that out. I'll try to pull it up, and if you want to, I can actually show it on the stream. I'm very intrigued by that. Yeah, because I definitely think that'd be cool if I had the room to build one. Heartstoppers. Oh, right on. I've never heard of that. I still couldn't find the Samaritan comics. I couldn't tell who published it. Oh, did not mean for that to happen. There we go.
Okay, there we go. All right.
There we go. Here, let's zoom in on the mustache some so nobody feels left out.
Here we go.
Everybody can see it. Dustin, it's good that you finally joined.
Yep. Sorry, work had me. Work comes first.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that if anyone that is in the chat, if any of you guys have your books here, you definitely don't mind that was what I was late for because I was working on your books. I finally got the second iconic comic book cover poster put up. So first I went with the Steranko Hulk annual, and now I have gone on to Fantastic Four #3. So I put a post up on Instagram of some that I'm considering for the last two, because I'm gonna, even though this is a comic book cover, I wanted to go with more like Silver Age, Golden Age kind of stuff. So I'm looking at doing. Honestly, I'm probably going to end up doing X-Men 100 and then Batman 3, just because I love that Batman 3 cover, the Golden Age Batman 3.
Remind me, guys, and especially while Dan's on, I think I have a book I want to buy. I'm so dumb.
This might be. Maybe we should hold off on doing the biggest mistakes we made in comics, because this sounds like this might be one of them. I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, Dustin, you reminded me of something, because before we got on the show, you asked me what time am I getting on, because you're East Coast, I'm West Coast. Here in California, the idiots that live in the state voted to get rid of Pacific Standard Time forever. So this is the last time we'll ever have Pacific Standard Time, and then when it changes over, it used to be in April, the first week of April, when baseball started. Now it was moved back to late March, I guess. It'll stay daylight savings time forever. I think that's stupid. It's unbelievably stupid, but that's what they voted for.
Wow. So you guys are
I know.
be on even more different time than everybody.
So at some point, you guys will be 4 hours behind Eastern.
No, yeah. No, it springs forward an hour.
Right, and it'll stay there. It won't go back in the fall.
Yeah.
So now it'll be.
They'll still be the same at some point.
Basically, you'll be on Mountain Time for the rest of your No, because Mountain Time moves too, right?
Yeah, everything moves.
Holy crap! So now it's going to be 2 hours behind Eastern, 1 hour behind Central.
We're kind of like, in a backwards way, Arizona, which doesn't do daylight savings, as I understand it. So they're always standard time.
Yeah.
They're one of the few states that opted out of it.
Okay.
But the idiots that live in our state said, no, we like daylight savings, so we're just going to leave it. It's going to backfire. That's going to backfire in a big way. But again, I live with idiots. So anyway.
Sounds like you need to move to Texas.
I can't bring my wife with me. She won't do it. She won't do it.
Dan, I had that same Mortal Kombat machine. How do you like it?
I love it, but the thing is, even when you get the cheat code, and you have to, play with it, it still kicks your ass after the second. Oh yeah, love the shirt. After the second or third round, I still get my ass kicked.
I played it on my Retro Pi.
See, the best Mortal Kombat 2 I ever played was, believe it or not, back on the old Super Nintendo. That was a great kick-ass game, and they did a little article on when they put that together. Because remember, there were tiny little cartridges. They crammed every bit of memory they could. I think they had 17K left, according to the article. But that was a great game.
Yeah, for sure. Echo said skill issue. So this was what Warlord sent us. He built an arcade cabinet.
Yeah.
So that's one of the photos, and then I'm going to share. That's pretty neat, man. Show on stream.
I have one of those. I have it. It's an old Popeye Nintendo one. It's all beat to shit, and I haven't really taken care of it. And I'm embarrassed. I need to restore it if I can. But it's the old TV screen from the 80s. The screen takes about 15 minutes to warm up.
Oh yeah.
Right.
That's
on.
awesome. I'd love to do something like this if I had time.
Yeah.
Or the space, really. I really don't have anywhere to put it.
There you go.
Yeah, that's super cool. I like that a lot.
It's not as cool as the potential trade that me and him are talking over. I'm excited about that.
Oh, that's cool. That actually would be a really nice place to start. Get like an old beat up machine and kind of do it that way, because most of the controls are that's actually a pretty.
Oh yeah.
That would be. I bet you. Okay, now my wheels are thinking.
But damn it, I almost had, instead of the Star Wars game behind me, I had it in my hand, the Marvel comics, all the games from Marvel in one cabinet, and I didn't buy it. I thought, I'll get it later. Now you can't find the damn thing. Yeah.
My buddy Britt has the Killer Instinct 2 arcade.
Oh yeah, that's great.
And it's just sitting in their garage, just rotting away because something happened and it quit working. And it kills me and him both. Every time we walk past it, I look at it and he looks at it and I look at him. And I'm like, you should be ashamed. He's like, I am, dude.
I am. I'm in the same boat. But I still have If you've ever seen these cartridges before the PlayStation 1, this is a Neo Geo cartridge. Look how big
nice.
these
That's
things
cool.
are. I still have the cartridge and the card and everything. Everything still works.
Fatal Fury was that on Sega Genesis too as well? I mean,
it sucked. It sucked badly. You got to get the actual Neo Geo.
Okay.
So I'm still a big kid. I never grew up. So I wanted to what's bugging me, and thanks for letting me on here, guys. What has been bothering me is the direction of DC, and I'm not a DC hater. I've loved DC. I grew up with Superman, Batman as a kid, and all the rest of them. But I think everyone is making a huge mistake by following James Gunn. I think he might bring some entertainment, but it's not going to be anywhere near the caliber of the MCU.
No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
The old MCU.
Yeah, right. Oh, they still have they're still on a good track here, and they can. Phase 4 wasn't that great, but
they get a base hit every now and then. They're just not hitting the home runs anymore.
I think they will. I think they're going to get.
I really hope so.
Again.
I hope Ant-Man is going to be the turning point where it's just like, all right, here we go. We're back in it.
Well, people are sort of following James Gunn because he has had success with Suicide Squad and also Guardians. All right, but the problem with that is that I was trying to find a way to express it. Those movies are not necessarily mainstream. They're kind of great side stories, side movies.
Yeah.
But if that's his direction and that's what he's going to take the DC universe down, I think it's a very poor direction. And that was Zaslav, nixing the Batgirl movie, and then they had the best movie I have seen in a long, long time with Black Adam. It was true DC. I felt, as you just said, Nick, I felt exactly the same way when that came out. I felt exactly the same way as I did with Iron Man in 2008. It was an instant classic. It hit on all cylinders. And I thought, finally, now I've got something to look forward to with Dwayne Johnson and Henry Cavill towards the end of that movie. That was perfect. Now they're scrapping the entire thing. I think that's a horrible mistake. Now, I've come to you on your guys' show because you two have impressed me quite a bit. You're, 25 years younger than I am. But here you both are going back into Marvel Silver Age, looking at history, and you're appreciating what you see. What you see with that Silver Age is what Marvel beat out DC back in those early days for one reason: quality. They had quality story, quality artwork, even though they ran on a shoestring budget, but they didn't skimp. I mean, they had to skimp on paper quality because, again, they were living on a very tight budget. But the quality of the stories won everything over. Mm-hmm. What's going on with DC and Zaslav and James Gunn, and I forget the other guy who's in charge, they're bowing to the element of money they don't have with DC. And I think they got rid of Cavill, and they're not bringing on Dwayne Johnson any further. And I bet you the same would be for Gal Gadot. They don't have the money to pay them. These are expensive veteran actors, so they're keeping cheaper actors, younger actors who will do, sign these contracts for a lot less than these veteran actors. This also explains, I think, why they're keeping Ezra Miller as the Flash, because he's had troubles in his life. They could probably get him for really, really cheap, but the problem is he's going to stick out like a sore thumb without the rest of his team. He's not a mainstay in the Justice League. The rest of the players are, and I would even say that of who's the actor who played Cyborg.
I don't remember.
But he's a good actor that they should keep. I don't know if they're going to keep him. It's all about money or lack of it for DC. That's where they're making their decisions, and that's a very poor way to make any decision moving forward. I think it's going to be a disaster. Let's say 5 years from now, I think I'll be proven right that this won't. I don't want people going down the wrong path and investing money where they should with DC. I was going to say, after the Black Adam movie, you should probably start looking at the old DC keys. Now I'm saying, don't leave them alone. Don't touch them.
Yeah, and for me, I mean, everything you said for me is like, and it absolutely blows my mind, kind of the direction, right? And we walked out of Black Adam. I went home the next day or two because I came home that night and watched Man of Steel after driving back from Atlanta, and man, I was so excited for Henry Cavill,
right,
and The Rock, And again, not even from the aspect of, oh, it's The Rock. I just was excited. Really more so, I guess we could say Black Adam and what this meant. And it felt like there was something of value there again, if that makes sense. But man, I was so pumped up for Henry Cavill. I haven't been that excited walking out of a Marvel or a comic book movie
Same here.
since maybe Endgame. I think that was probably the
Yeah,
last time.
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
But geez, it was phenomenal. And then to hear they basically, scrapping it all, getting rid of and Henry Cavill is a phenomenal actor. I actually have gone through the last couple of weeks and rewatched just about everything he's been in, from Man from Uncle, when he was in Mission Impossible. Actually, two opposite kind of ends of the spectrum when it comes to spy movies, for being the bad guy, good guy, but phenomenal in both. I really liked him in The Witcher, but obviously they've just destroyed that whole franchise with the writing team. But I mean, just a phenomenal actor. And I hate that he's not going to be there. And I'm already not a fan of James Gunn for very specific reasons that I've not been shy about saying. And I just don't think there's a defense of it. And the same thing for Ezra. I know, what's up, Empire? But for everything that he's done, absolutely should be, he should be scrapped. He should have been the first when they announced we're separating ourselves from. And
actors have been blackballed for a lot less than
a lot
grown
less.
children. You go to a certain church and they, people want to cancel you and get you blackballed, but you're okay. It's okay to groom children. We should be understanding
and then also go to pedophile theme parties, make pedophile jokes consistently. Like that's something cool we should do. And then you put this man in charge of your whole studio, But even if you can look past that, I still don't think he's the guy. Everything he's done's been fine, but they've all been one big fart joke. If that makes sense, you know what I mean?
Right.
Peacemaker, even Guardians of the Galaxy is just one big comedy with a lot of dumb fart jokes. And obviously, I'm not meaning literal fart jokes, but that level of humor. His Suicide Squad movie was basically just one massive fart joke. I can't think of one where he's done something at a level or scale anything like we've seen Kevin Feige or Favreau do.
Well, my guess would be, the DC fans are so desperate to have anything to root for now that you've got someone who has some success, and you can't take away that he does have success again with those two movies. But again, that's not the direction you want the entire franchise to go into.
No.
You want to have side movies or, movies and shows that have a different take, even with the MCU, and that's totally fine.
I thought you said side boobies. I was like, hey, I'm all for some side boobs.
Well, if they did that, that's fine. That's little male humor. But this I don't know, the woke culture that seems to be embracing, and also Zaslav. No, who is it? Is it Zaslav? No, it was Gunn who's embracing the writing for DC right now. They've gone totally woke. Now I've always said, look, you can write anything you want. If that's what you believe in, progressivism and all that, that's totally fine. You have every right to produce that in a movie or script or anything else. That doesn't mean I have to buy it.
Right.
And so because again, DC sales are hurting badly because they're focusing too much on this rather than the content of the story and the content of the character. They're going down this different road here, which again, that's a very selective and I wouldn't say extreme, but it's a very small audience. Comic book people want comic books. I don't want to hear about your own personal politics. I'm not interested unless there's some sort of, message that you want to send. Even Stanley and Kirby talked about politics, but they did it in such a way where it was still entertaining.
Well, and he actually quotes in, not to interrupt you, but there's a quote of him talking about it in one of his letters. I read it throughout Spider-Man, but how did he put it? Something to the effect of, we want to put our messaging in comic books, and they were pretty progressive. If you really read between the lines, very progressive for the time. And I don't think anything bad, for what it was, but they were like, we never want to, over editorialize. They never want to put that message above putting a good story first. Right. And that's, in his letters at the back. And that was always one of my favorite things to read was, whenever Stan would do his letters or Ditko or whoever, right. The editor notes, but he talked very heavily about that. And I have a screenshot of it somewhere. I need to find it. But basically that effect was, yes, we do care about these things, but we never want to put it above our fans or our storytelling. And then to that same effect, where DC and Marvel and most comic book publishers is they're pushing what they think is going to be great, or what we're seeing with Peter Parker and Spider-Man, where it's basically hasn't been a solid story in decades. You know, back then they would do what fans wanted. They would say, because you demanded it, it's back. Silver Surfer's back because you demanded it. Like, I have a screenshot of that from 2 nights ago
Well,
when I was reading Fantastic
just
Four.
just like whenever in Fantastic Four issue 22, you know, when they gave Sue Storm additional powers, and from that issue on, she became much more structural part of the team,
Mhm.
as far as, you know, taking more part in them being victorious over the villains. That was something that they said, you know, you asked for, you guys asked for Sue Storm to be a more integral part of the team, and to have more powers. Like, I read that part in there
Mhm.
too, and that's something that I've said multiple times. It was so cool to see that these guys would read and take into account what the people who are paying the money for these books want to see. And, you know, they wouldn't, maybe they didn't add all of it, but if they saw something and they were, you know, that made sense, it was like, oh, you know what, yeah, I guess Sue Storm really doesn't have, you know,
Mhm.
anything going on, we should give her a little more. You know, that kind of stuff was cool.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys, even if you buy, this is why I say, even if you buy a very low grade Silver Age comic, like I've got a very low grade Fantastic Four 25, only paid $25 for it, but it's the actual comic and it has the actual letters to the editor section in it. And those guys read each letter. They were very much in contact with their fans. There was a great symbiosis and understanding between the two, between the reader and the producer of the comics. And Stanley, and again, I've said this before, it's worth repeating. Stanley and Kirby were very much like Gene Roddenberry of Star Trek, because again, he also had a way to deliver a message, a great storyline, and he changed the entire science fiction world by his little three
Mhm.
season series of Star Trek. Again, like Marvel, on a budget, they did the best they can, but the stories were exceptional. The acting was incredible. They even touched on politics, but they did it in such a way where it was science fiction based, but you still understood what was going on. The most famous was the guy who was half black and half white. That was clearly a political message that he wanted to send, and he had to get through, you know, the suits at NBC at the time, who didn't understand what was going on. But regardless, with Stan Lee and the Silver Age, again, they were, when they sat down and said, "Look, we're going to do things the way we want to, and we only have so much money to work with." They still kept with quality, and they, even though they didn't have success right away, like with Hulk, people don't realize this. Hulk only had six issues at the very
Mhm.
beginning because it didn't sell very well.
Yeah.
So they put that on pause, and but they didn't give up on the whole character. They moved him to Fantastic Four 12. That was his
Yep.
seventh appearance, I believe. Then they put him into Tales to Astonish, and they finally brought him back. And now Hulk 1 is one of the most sought after comics, you know, in
Yeah.
history. But again, they didn't give up on their quality. And in the end, they won over. They had growing pains and they had ups and downs with their financial difficulties and so forth. But I think, again, I don't think Zaslav and Gunn recognize the absolute quality of the Black Adam movie that they just produced. Now
Yeah.
they're saying, I don't know why they're scrapping it. And this is what I say is unforgivable, because let's say they finally realize the mistake they've made, and let's say they're going to do this, I don't know, 5-6 years down the road. Cavill and Dwayne Johnson may be too old to do the role. You do this
Mhm.
now, they're not going to last forever as far as youthful
Yep.
actors. And with Dwayne Johnson, I was listening to I listen to a lot of YouTube shows, including you guys, and Newbie was talking about this with Rocksteady this past Tuesday, and they were saying, you know, they were criticizing Johnson for going above the heads of James Gunn and Zaslav, because they were saying, oh, he's not that great of an actor and all that. He may not be that great of an actor, but he's a great entertainer.
Mhm.
His entertainment skill comes from his understanding of wrestling. He didn't become The Rock for no reason. It's not just because of the, you know, his great physique. He knows what the audience wants. There's lots of wrestlers that learn a lot about entertainment simply because they know what the crowd is looking for. A great example of that. You guys should meet this guy one of these days. You'd love him. We'll talk off air about this guy. Wayne Ferris, the Honky Tonk Band. That guy knows an awful lot of the wrestling industry, but he knows more about the entertainment component. He knows what the audience wants. And I guess you can say the same thing about McMahon. McMahon does know what the audience wants because, again, he made a number of great decisions that built that franchise up. So Johnson knows what the audience wants. He was the one who brought in Henry Cavill, a brilliant move, and he knows that this is a stupid thing to scrap this. So I don't blame him for going above their heads and going to the suits saying, "Damn it, I put a lot of effort into this. We're on the right track here. Don't give up on this." We'll see. I hope he's successful. I doubt it though, but we'll see. But if he isn't successful and they scrap this whole thing, DC, you're on your own. I'm not touching anything DC, not your new comics. I'm not going to attend the movies. Look, if other people are entertained, that's great, but I don't see them getting anywhere near the caliber of success the MCU has had the last 15 years or so.
Not. I think a lot of it is people are excited. I think a lot of people get excited at the thought that it could be turning around, and I think I don't know. I don't feel like I don't feel like they're gonna get that to that next level either. I mean, it's just too much of a mess. I mean, it's been a mess for the last 2 or 3 years. I mean, every time you turn around, they're being bought out by someone else and shaking everything up and starting over. And I feel like regardless, and we talked about this last week. Regardless of how you feel about Dwayne Johnson as an entertainer, an actor, regardless, whatever, he, like I said last week, at least he's doing this because he cares. He wants it to succeed. He wants it to get to that next level. That's why he's doing what he's doing, because, it's something that matters to him. And it might be selfish reasons that, he wants to be able to say, I was the guy that saved DC. I don't give a crap what his reasoning is, but I mean, he's definitely made it very well known that he cares and he wants to see it change. Like I said last week, when's the last time you saw the highest paid movie star on the planet show up at a Comic-Con in a superhero outfit to basically get people hyped up about a movie? I mean, when did anybody in the MCU do that? Now we saw the guy that's going to be doing the High Evolutionary, but who cares?
That was bad.
Did they ever have Did Robert Downey Jr. ever show up at Comic-Con dressed as Iron Man? I mean, did we ever get anything like that? I don't know that it didn't happen, but if it didn't happen, then that's kind of my point. Like, Dwayne Johnson didn't do that because he needed money.
Well, DC, DC, Zaslav and Gunn, I think mostly Zaslav, is looking at the numbers. Did the Black Adam movie make enough money to justify moving forward with it? Apparently it didn't at this point.
Yep.
But if you're just looking at the numbers, you're just a numbers guy. And it's no different than that list that you guys were showing when I first came on the show. If you don't know what the audience wants and you don't know what quality is, you have no business being behind the wheel. Yeah. And I think Zaslav is making a horrible mistake by not. Sometimes you have to spend money to make money. Mm-hmm. But if you have something is solid, and this is as a comic guy, a lifelong comic collector, they finally have it. That's what's so frustrating about this whole thing. They finally got it right, and just as they get it right, they're going to pull the plug on it because they say they can't afford it. Well, look, you know what? The MCU, they didn't start off perfectly. They made a number of mistakes. They nailed it with Iron Man 1. Iron Man 2 was okay. Iron Man 3 was horrid. That's because they had the wrong director. But still, you have to find people, and what they did too is they brought in the old people that were working with Stan Lee. Sal Buscema and Roy Thomas and a few others. You see them at the end credits. They're guiding the MCU as far as this is what worked in the 60s and 70s. So DC doesn't have that. Yeah. At least not to my knowledge. I think they do have Roy Thomas because Thomas did work for DC for a while. But again, it's just unbelievably frustrating that I wanted DC to start going in the direction that the MCU was, because look how incredible that would be for us comic collectors. Look at what we do. You're running this whole show. Why? Because of comic books. Mm-hmm. And look, you've got thousands of 5,000-6,000 people that subscribe to your show. They tune in because they want to have this conversation because they have the same love and passion that the three of us do, and we want to see more. And DC's got so much to offer, and damn it, they finally figured it out, and now it's scrapped.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what's frustrating to me is every time I feel like I've said something not negative, but gave a not so positive opinion about what's happening on Instagram or wherever, people are like, "Oh, you guys are just hating." I'm like, "Look, I genuinely care so much about this stuff that I just don't want to be fed a shit sandwich and feel like I have to just take it."
Yeah, and
You know what
how
I
many
mean?
times have we sat here and said that it's important, no matter if you consider yourself to be a Marvel guy or whatever, you know, like I
Mhm.
said, we don't consider ourselves to be one or the other, but you know, if you're a Marvel fan and you're a, you know, FDC, I hate DC, whatever, like you should still be rooting for DC to succeed because that is going to make some competition for Marvel and force Marvel to keep their game up on a high
Absolutely.
level. And without that, you know, it's you're gonna see a lot of mediocre stuff coming out. And so regardless of how you feel, you got to root for DC. And Nick and I have both been champions of that for a long time. We've never said that, you know, we want DC to fail. Never.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I've been accused of being a DC hater, and that's the furthest thing from the truth. I mean, like I said, I grew up with these guys, and the argument I suppose could be made that Phase Four was pretty lackluster because I think yes, the pandemic had a lot to do with it. It screwed up a lot of things, but I think they knew deep down that I'm talking about the people behind the MCU movies and shows. They had no competition. They had nothing to worry about, you know. And then when there's no competition, there's no real, you know, drive
Yeah.
to bring home a winning team. So we'll see what happens moving forward, but it just it's disappointing, it's sad, it's frustrating. So I don't know what's going to happen moving forward, but DC's they're on the wrong
Who,
track.
who knows? James Gunn could get canned before he does his first movie. I mean, it wouldn't be surprising with as quickly as they tend to shake things up around there. You know, lately. I mean,
Yeah.
who knows?
I mean, do you really think the Flash movie is going to be all that?
No, I think it's gonna be terrible.
I think
Yeah.
so too.
I think Ezra's just not a good Flash in general. I didn't like him from the first
No, I didn't
time.
either. He was literally the biggest. My biggest point when I watched
Yeah.
the Snyder cut.
Like you had perfect
things I
castings
hated.
all the way around for Justice League. Literally, I couldn't think of one person that stood out in terms of not borderline perfection. You know what I mean? Gal Gadot, phenomenal. Henry Cavill, fantastic. I loved Batman. Not Batman. Sorry, Batfleck. I thought he was fantastic. And personally, as a older, more mature Bruce Wayne, I thought, and he loves this shit. He loves DC Comics. He loves Batman. If you listen to him talk about it, I mean, he adores it, right? And I think he did. I think he's a great actor. Who else? The guy for Cyborg. I don't remember his name. I should after how much, you know, basically stuff he caused. You know, right or wrong. I don't really know, but felt like he was a really solid actor. And then Ezra just stood out as this whiny bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, who's going to say he's kind of a pussy?
Yeah,
That's
that's a
probably the
good way
best
of
way to
putting it.
describe it. You know, I was hoping for the Flash of the DC animated series.
Ray Fisher,
Kind of funny and had a great relationship with the Green Lantern character. You know, they had a great back and forth with the two of them. And so that's what I was looking for. I didn't really mind him that much. He kind of grew on me a little bit. I'm talking about Ezra Miller. He wasn't all that bad, but then again, he's not a standalone character. He only fits barely with his associates in the Justice League.
Yeah.
And now they're going to have him on the standalone movie. I don't see it being successful. I think they're wasting a bunch of money and time.
And I you know, I'm not going to go to theaters and watch it. You know, I'll wait for the 45 days or, you know, probably closer to 30 days it goes to streaming, but I won't go online or I won't go to movies and watch it.
I will watch it out of curiosity just to see what it does, you know, and if they want to throw something else in, but I'm curious to why they want to keep it. And I bet you anything, if somehow they released the Batgirl movie and you had a side-by-side comparison, I bet that Batgirl movie would have been far better than this upcoming Flash movie.
Probably. I mean, we'll see though. But I don't know, man. I'm shocked. But there's a few things in the comments real quick, and we'll keep going. Mortal Kombat 10 handled progressive themes so well with Kung Jin and other characters. I know Dustin and I, the day it came out, I went and bought was Xbox One back then. So I went and bought a brand new Xbox One, and Dustin and I played and beat the whole thing that day.
Really?
For whatever, yeah, that was and
Yeah,
literally.
and what? Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
What I was gonna say is from like I went and bought it, spent all that money, we played it, beat it in that same night, and that thing sat on my shelf for years and never played another game.
Mm-hmm.
And that was I was gonna say that was the last console I bought, but then I did the same thing with the PS4.
Yeah.
Literally the same thing. It was
Yeah.
I
Got Mortal Kombat 11 and
I have
But-
been playing. I was alive and well and playing since Pong, and
Oh,
I've
that's
never
awesome.
quit. I've never given it up. I still have most of my old collection and consoles. So I do a lot of retro
Right on.
gaming. So
But yeah, he's right. I mean, the way that they did that with Kung Jin, in Mortal Kombat X, they changed or they they never told before, so I guess it wasn't a change, but I can't remember if they ended up being if he was just if he anyway his sexual orientation was a topic about Mortal Kombat X, but the deal is like when you play through the storyline, it's not something that was such a big deal that it overshadows the story, and I think that's a lot of the times is where you find things suffer. um is it's not something that people care. Like, we don't care, but at the same time, it doesn't have to be something that has to overshadow everything else and the rest of the game. Like, that's the focal point, and we're gonna let the rest of the game suffer to make this known and this the focal point. And
I
I
didn't
thought
even know it was a thing. So
yeah. So and I think that's a lot of the times the issue with a lot of this stuff is it gets pushed to the forefront so much and championed so much in a lot of the media now that everything else inside suffers because it's not important. There's only, it's like, this is the only thing that we care that you see and know about. The rest of it, like, whatever.
yeah. So Father of Five, hello, says great point on Black Adam, talking about earlier what you're talking about, Dan. And then impatience about so Manny mentioned about Hobgoblin.
Oh,
And so
yeah,
when I was reading, and I'm a huge Hobgoblin fan, got the statue right here. Obviously probably not as big as you are. But fantastic read through. And that was one of my favorite parts of Spider-Man during the era of the Stern, was figuring out exactly who Hobgoblin kind of was. And obviously, like, it only lasted a couple of days for me versus years for you guys back then. But it was a big joy of mine. I hated kind of the 15 different reiterations or retcons, I guess we could say, of who it was and why. And then we had several others. And then as we got into more modern, of course, now Hobgoblin is, basically being sold out as like an identity by the original. That whole thing was weird, but I do enjoy that piece of it.
He's right what he was saying, though, and it's not just in comics. I mean, that goes for a lot of things now where you can't drag a storyline out more than a couple of weeks or a month or whatever. People are so impatient, and we've gotten to this point where everyone's so give me now that you can't take the time to build something up properly anymore. That's a big issue that I saw in wrestling when I got the last time I was actually watching it some, which has been a long time. You used to have storylines that would drag out for months on end. You would have feuds that would drag out, and it just got to the point where it was like, the feud would start this week, and in 3 weeks, you've had the big, you've hit the climax, and then, you hit the big match and it's over, in a couple of weeks. Sometimes, you have to build up that suspense and build up the excitement for it, I feel like. And I think a lot of that gets lost a lot of time. I mean, look at The Hunt. Me and Bleeker have been building up this storyline and feud since before Thanksgiving, and we're finally going to bring it to an end in 2 weeks from now. And it's like, this has been something that we've been building on for months now. And I'm just like, people and I think it stuff like that gets good whenever people kind of, it's been going on for so long that people aren't even thinking about it as much until it's right there in front of your face, and it's like, oh shit, I forgot this was going on, man. This, hell yeah, let's go. And I feel like that's a lot of things that is our fault though, because not necessarily the three of us, but generally speaking, people have gotten so much to the point of just give me now. I want it now. I don't want to wait. I don't,
What's the culture as a whole?
yeah.
See, that's one of the reasons I love that show, and people don't see what we do behind the scenes. As soon as the show's over, we talk about how do we do on the show, what do we do next with the storyline, how do we build it up. We're always thinking about. We love that show, we love everybody on there, but you don't see the effort that's put into it. I'll just share everyone. I've never shown this publicly yet, but I will. I want to come up with a third persona, and everyone seems to be interested in it. Mean Gene Okerlund.
Okay.
He was a mainstay of that of the old, the old wrestling. I won't say what it is because I don't want you guys getting banned or clicked for whatever, which wrestling outfit that was. But Mean Gene Okerlund was a great character who blended so much with the rest of the wrestlers. I'm going to be calling myself Mean Gene Oakland because that's my hometown, and I'm trying to come up with a costume because I'm not balding. He was, and I don't know if I want to
mustache, bro.
The mustache and the balding thing, and a T-shirt that's a tuxedo because he was always dressed up. I don't know what I'll do. I don't know if I'll do the bald cap or anything. But then again, I don't want to just show up, saying, "Hey, I'm Mean Gene Oakler." I want to put myself into that character. So I've been looking at old videos of him, trying to get the persona down, trying to get the right phrases
I know
and so
exactly
forth.
what you're talking about.
But the point is, you want to put effort into this because I do what I do because. Basically, the bottom line is the world's so shitty right now. If I can provide some entertainment to people, to let them give some escape for their lives, that's to me, I'm doing my job serving the community. That's why I love you guys and other shows. This is a great escape. And again, you got to find things that make you happy.
Yeah.
But one thing I put my toe in the water was last year, or the year before, for New Comics to see what they were doing regarding, do they have any Silver or Bronze Age-esque storyline? Not really, but there's one that has got me excited right now, and that's the new Joe Fixit #1. It's taking off on when the Gray Hulk went gray in issue like 324, I think it was, and then he had this new persona called Joe Fixit. Well, the new storyline is it goes back, I guess, to whenever that was, and Kingpin doesn't know that Joe Fixit is the Hulk, so he bumps into him. They get into a fight. Kingpin gets his ass kicked, and now Kingpin is pissed off because he was humiliated, and he says, "I'm going to kill this guy." I mean, that's going to be a great mini series. So I haven't got it, but I'm getting that. It's a brand new comic. It just came out last week, I think. So, but that's the kind of thinking that I want to see from New Comics. I'm hoping that kind of flavor is still alive. So, but other than that, I haven't seen much. In New Comics, last Ronin one, we talked about that last time I was on your show, issue 1 and 2, and then I'm afraid to read issue 3 thanks to you, Dustin. I'm like, shit, I have it. Do I want to read it?
Three was pretty good.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah,
it was.
It's just 4 and 5 that kind of went down the crap pipe pretty hard.
Okay, I don't own 4 and 5, so you just saved me a few bucks.
Yeah. 3. Let's see. 3 wasn't bad. I felt like it was rushed a little bit as far as the storyline, and there wasn't enough attention put on. You already know, everybody dies. So in each issue, basically somebody's dying, but there wasn't enough attention put into what happened in issue 3. I felt like it was just kind of brushed over really quick. Here's what happened, and on to the next one. So, I mean, issue 1 is an absolute masterpiece in my mind. I mean, that will forever be one of my favorite single issues I've ever read in comics. I mean, I absolutely loved it. I probably read it 10 times, and I wish that the rest of the series had continued on with that same, what felt like the same amount of passion and love that was put into that issue 1. I do not feel like that was what was put into the rest of the series. I feel like issue number 2 was really well done. but it just felt like it just started tapering off after issue 3. About halfway through issue 3, I was just like, man, like y'all just kind of skimmed over that. And then issue 4, I was just like, okay, I see where y'all are going with this now. And then issue 5 was just kind of like, again, as long as big as those books are, they're oversized. They're
Right.
more than 20 pages, and it still felt like, dang, like that's it, huh? Like that's okay. You
Well,
guys just went. I mean, just it was just like that. Like there was, the build up didn't seem like it in that issue 5. Like there was enough build up to what was going to happen, and I don't know. It just after reading issue 1, it just seemed very disappointing.
did it end at 5? Is the series over?
Yeah, they're starting a new Ronin universe, and you'll see in the end of issue 5 what that's going to entail, and it's an absolute travesty in my mind. As a
Okay.
Turtles fan, as a lifelong Turtles fan, I hate everything about it.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
But I also hate everything that IDW is doing with the Ninja Turtles. I think it's all a travesty. I think that everything that's been done for about the last 30 issues has been garbage. And last issue I read, I think, was like issue 101, 102.
What's up, Kyle?
And it just got to the point where it was just like, let's push the Ninja Turtles to the back burner of their own title and push 100 other characters to the forefront so that we can make get our stuff in that we want people to see. And it's like, look, just make a different series then. Like you can't take the Turtles off their own covers. You can't, for multiple issues. You can't take them out of the storyline and make them pretty much the side characters in their own title. And I felt like that was what was going on, and it still is. So,
Well, like I said, I'm 25 years older than both of you, at least, if not more. I only have so much time left on the earth, and I want to be here for a long time. I don't plan on dropping dead tomorrow, but I want to focus in on quality. So I've got a bunch of reading for Silver and Bronze Age, and that'll be my entertainment the rest of my life. So that's what I have to look forward to. So hey, Nick, because I've got to go to another show in about 5 minutes or so.
Yep.
What's that other book you said you're teasing us with?
So, I'm sitting reading some Fantastic Four the other night, and I was kind of bored of Fantastic Four. I won't lie.
Okay, fine, that's fine.
It's it's kind of been ups and downs, right?
What issues more where?
I'm in 160s right now, 160s, 170, something like that. Okay,
that's understandable. That's understandable.
So, but the only time I've been excited is whenever 4 characters show up. Okay,
Fright before?
No. Whenever it's 4 separate characters. Anytime Inhumans are there, I absolutely dread it because it just is not fun for me. I think they're terrible.
I'm not talking about the Humans. I'm talking about the Fright before, bro.
I know, but anyways, so they're majority in there. But every time Silver Surfer shows up, I get excited. I'm like, here we go. And that's what I was talking about. Was in the first episode issue, he comes back in probably a year or two, after he gets his own series. It puts at the very forefront because you guys demanded it. Silver Surfer returns. I'm like, that's the Marvel we need today. But anyway, so I'm sitting there reading it. I'm like, I absolutely adore this character. And I mean that in like the manliest way possible. But I'm like, I thoroughly enjoy when this man shows up. I'm like, great. One of the biggest Fantastic Four books, as far as it cost wise, that's the one I want to buy. And
but it's so much more affordable now, though.
No, I know. That's where I'm like, okay, cool. And then obviously I love Galactus, and that's not as expensive as it was. But I don't think I like him nearly as much as I like Silver Surfer. So anytime the Watcher shows up, I'm very intrigued. My ears
Watcher's
perk up,
always going to
and I'm
bring
like, okay, what's
cool
going to
into the
happen?
story.
Because some shit's about to go down. Because even though he can't interfere, he's totally about to interfere and F everything up. So I love that FF13, and that's a few $100 book, no biggie. Silver Surfer, what is that? FF 50, 49, 48?
48, yeah.
Something like that.
Is Galactus. 50 is that cover.
The barrier,
50 is the cover that everybody likes that has him on it.
Yeah, so I'm thinking Silver. I'm really looking hard at that one because every time he shows up, I get super excited about what's about to go down. And in this, it's like he's got to kill the Fantastic Four because Doctor Doom has taken his woman. You know what I mean? And what kind of sucks here is because I've not read any of the Silver Surfer series, so I didn't get a great background on that. But every time he shows up, I absolutely appreciate his character more and more. And I think he's fantastic. I think he's always well written. The way he's drawn is fantastic. So I think that's going to be a pickup, depending on how cheap I can get it somewhere.
Yeah.
And I would like to buy Galactus, but yeah, it's neither here nor there for me. You know what I mean? Like I enjoy when he shows up, but it's more so because Silver Surfer's kind of shortly behind. And then anytime Doctor Doom is there, he makes the book that much more better. But I'm not gonna go buy
still
a
expensive as hell, bro.
I know. I would rather
Still
spend that money
expensive.
on an ASM1.
Yeah,
You got
I mean,
me
the
digging for.
FF6 is extremely affordable now. Jesus Christ.
They're all coming down, which is great news
Yeah.
if you have the means. And again, wait till later in the spring would be my guess because the economy is going to continue to do its thing. When I restarted my collection about 9-10 years ago, this is the first book I bought.
Nice.
And I paid $600 for it. It was sweet. But here I just realized this not that long ago. Read all the pages. The center page is missing in this.
Yeah.
So this would get a
What
green
did I
label.
say last week, guys?
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I had Stanley sign this and on the whole thing, but still, it's an incomplete. It doesn't affect the story, so I'm lucky there. But and I still made money on it. But if I had known this, I would have sent this back because that was incomplete.
Yeah.
And you got to get your hands on this Marie Severin art here.
Yes.
93. That's a mandatory one. Great story. Also get 92 at the very last page. Silver Surfer shows up for the first time ever outside of Fantastic Four. That's affordable that you can get your hands on. And everyone was kind of pissing on this cover here. I love this cover.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Oh yeah, that's one of the best.
I got one with a very deep brown. This is one of the early printings, and it's cool when Stan signs his name right there on the board. I had my hands on one. I got outbid, but still, that was a cool one.
Yeah.
So, but Fantastic Four, did you read? You said you in the 160s you got bored. Did you get to issue 166 and 167?
Let me see, because again, I just kind of read and don't take. I don't pay too much attention to the numbers, and the reason why I do that is because I will psych myself out about, oh god, this is going to take forever. You know what I mean?
My first book, actually, the second book I ever bought was FF 168, and I missed 166 and 167 by those two issues. That's a great, very inexpensive Thing versus Hulk. Interesting battle that they had.
So I'm wrong. I'm actually just starting 156.
Okay.
I'm a little bit not as close as I thought.
That's a quick early spec for you guys, for everyone in the audience. A great read, and really doesn't cost a whole lot of money.
Yep.
And another one, too, because Thing was always battling the Hulk, would always lose, but he finally won in issue 320. Get that one. That was a Steve Englehart story. Steve Englehart, who did the Defenders 1 through 11. Great writer, an underappreciated writer. That's a great story. I bought several copies of that. It's the rare one where the Thing actually becomes stronger than the Hulk and wins for the first and only time in his career, if you will. Another great story. So,
yeah, I hate that he got whooped almost. He got beat every single time, but
yeah. He never quit, though. I loved it.
Oh yeah, he ain't gonna quit.
Yeah.
That inability to quit's what saved the world from the Champion in that Marvel 2-in-1.
Yeah, I remember buying that. I've got two of those. I bought that off the rock.
That.
Great story.
Love that story. I love how Submariner acts in that one, and that was kind of like what I was talking about too when I was talking about the attitude of Submariner. Like he's like, you're gonna destroy the Earth if I don't train with these trainers and fight. I don't give a shit. I'm not training with these people. And he rolls out like,
yeah.
You can try to destroy the Earth. I'll find a way to survive. Like, I don't care. I'm not training. Rolls out.
See, that's the brilliance and the fun of Silver, Bronze, and Copper. I should not omit Copper Age reading Marvel because they're fun stories. They're all fun stories. And what stopped me was the mid '90s, with the exception of a rare couple of comics. They lost me. I was like, this sucks. It's not. And their comics are getting more expensive, and it wasn't worth it. So
yeah, no, I was in the shop today. We were driving by, and I figured I'd stop in and say hey to John. Hadn't been in there in over a month. So, and I just browsed the wall, and freaking facsimile books now, $4.99. I was like, are you kidding me? $5 for a facsimile now? Like,
Yeah.
you know, and I've got my spinner rack over here that I buy facsimiles to put them on the spinner rack. That way it looks like, I want it to look like a spinner rack that
Right.
that is, you know, got put in a time machine straight out of the 60s and the 70s.
Yeah.
But I mean, $5 a pop. Come on, man. Get out.
They were 25 cents when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I
mean, the
can't imagine
facsimile
being a
should be
kid
like
today and they're $4 for one
Yeah.
comic. No, I'm sorry.
Yep. That's why I still buy from old Todd.
Yeah.
$2.99. Not the greatest.
I feel like at the most that's what facsimile should cost.
Oh yeah.
Even the Incredible Hulk one I saw, I think it was more expensive than the Incredible Hulk facsimile that I have, and they're exact same. They look the same. There's no difference, and but I think the price is a little higher now than the original one that came out, which is
the one that's out that just came out this week.
Yeah.
I'll get it because I don't have it.
You don't have one? Okay.
No, I'll get it just because it was. What is it? $6? How much they want for it?
I can't remember what it was. It might have been $4.
That's worth it. That was a one-time purchase, you know.
Yeah, I mean it's Hulk 1, so I mean if you don't have one for sure.
And I did have one at one point. I had a Hulk 1 at one point.
Ooh,
yeah, it's I know.
That's that's absolutely the most. It's got to be top of the card when you talk about most scarce, like mega key Silver Age books. I mean, you walk into a comic convention and Amazing Fantasy 15s to Hulk ones is 10 to 1. I mean,
has anybody won the Mega Millions?
Yeah.
Damn it. Okay, it wasn't me, because I told my wife, look, you know, we split it 50, but I'm going to take several. I already had it planned out how many millions I'm going to take to go to cons and buy the stuff I want. You know, so
yeah, for sure, man, for sure. And Hulk 1's definitely one I would love to own. I got some buddies that have one, so I've got the whole one in my hand. But man, just the incredible amount of money that thing costs. And our buddy Jason, Southern Comic Geek, he got one last year. He ended up with getting a coverless copy, but it was complete otherwise. And I think he got it for under $2,000.
That's pretty reasonable. I do it
for a Hulk 1. Yeah,
I do that. Yeah,
because like you said, Hulk wasn't very popular when he first came out, which means, you know, it wasn't something that people probably cared enough about to take care of and hold on to. It probably wasn't printed as heavily as some of the others either, but you know, it's definitely one of the more scarce. I mean, if you talk about, you know, Journey to Mystery 83, Tales of Suspense 39, AF15, FF1, X-Men 1. I mean, they're all. I would say those are going to be 10 to 1 with Hulk 1 on a show floor. And we saw that. I saw that last year at Heroes Con. I mean, I bet I saw 20 AF15s. I think I saw one Hulk 1 at the show. And it might not have been that show that I even saw that one.
Yeah.
I know we saw one at Lexington, but I don't even know if I saw a Hulk 1 at Heroes Con. I'm not even sure.
I think of those deep grails you just mentioned. I think that's the most rare. There weren't many of them because, again, when you look at the cover, I remember even noticing this as a kid. It looks like Frankenstein.
Yeah,
you know, that's that because, again, he was a brand new character. It was a cross between Frankenstein and Jekyll and Hyde.
Jekyll and Hyde. Yep.
No one knew it would become the character we all know, the character that's behind you on the wall.
Yeah.
So with a deep, rich history. So we have our, you know,
FF5. I mean, you know, a lot you wouldn't think that FF5 would be more scarce than FF1, but I mean, hell, you go look at the CGC census, and it would surprise the hell out of you the difference in those numbers. It is very, very large. The difference in AF15 and FF5 is very large. So, you know, it's another one of those that, you know, it's that book commands such a high price. Number one, because it is Doom, and number two, there's not an abundance of those things out there.
Yeah. Well, I'd heard from a guy who, what was it? A1 Comics in here in Sacramento. Good shout out to A1. I knew the original owner, great guy, extremely knowledgeable. And he said, you know, there's something about FF5. You know, the paper quality wasn't that great back in those days because, again, they're running on a budget. for some reason, the paper quality on FF5 was the lowest grade they'd ever had. So it's really, really hard to find a high grade. And that's why you see them sort of deteriorating, because again, the paper quality is crap. And I had a book. It's a non-expensive Jughead book. The paper is literally coming apart in my hands. It's not an old. It's just because it's cheap paper.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, finding anything, you know, that's like I've got this here, the Journey to Mystery Annual 1, 5 white pages. Anything in this great condition, that old, with the I don't know how bad the quality of paper this was, but to see them in any sort of shape that's readable still stuns me.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, A1. I saw those guys do a live sale on Instagram a couple weeks ago. They had a bunch of Mortal Kombat books, but they only put up like 1 or 2 of them. And I was like, man, I wanted to see all those Mortal Kombat books y'all got.
Yeah,
I mean, I've got them all, but I mean, I'm still looking for extras just in case some of the ones I got don't hit the 9.8 that I'm looking for. So I always buy them when I see them, but you don't see them too often.
No, those are fun books. I'd like to get into it, but like I said, I've got so many other things to buy and so little money to buy it with. So.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, guys, I'm late for my other show. Thanks for having me on. I always love coming on here and having these great conversations with you guys. And again,
man.
I've met a lot of great people in the community, but you two have impressed me the most because, again, you have great taste in comics, great knowledge.
We appreciate that.
We all see the same thing, and it's very refreshing.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that for sure.
We try to be cultured youngins.
But the world needs more people like you. The world would be a better place if we had more people like you guys. So.
You just need to get your wife to go ahead and get out of. What is it that keeps you guys in California? Is it the weather?
Money or lack of it. It's expensive. Well, here's the thing: we're taking care of her mom. We're doing the elderly care thing, so that's very expensive. Both are, I've got my 2 daughters, and she has her 1 daughter. They're all here in California. So if we retire,
family's dragging you down.
We'll probably go to Nevada just to get out of California, just so we're within 4 or 5 hours driving distance. Yeah. But I'd leave.
Well, it's funny you said. So I work for a company based out of San Jose, right there, smack dab in it all. And so some of the people on my team work there, and I work with this one gentleman. He's the funniest human being in the world. When we first started working together, I was like, "Oh, this is your typical Californian." And over the years, as COVID has progressed and your fantastic governor's policies and all of these other things, it is my favorite thing in the world to get this guy worked up and get him talking about it, because he just goes on and on and on, and it is the best time. And it's so funny. He's thinking the same thing. He's like, I'm trying to go to Nevada, right? He's like, if I can just get to Nevada, to just over there, I'll be happier. But for them, it's basically the same thing: family, weather. But it's always interesting to hear people who, aren't necessarily fond why they don't leave, but it generally is the same thing. Like most people, family, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Have either one of you guys been out to California?
I have. I've been up to San Jose and San Francisco.
Okay.
That would require a long drive for me. So
yeah,
San Francisco used to be a gorgeous, gorgeous city. Now it's a shithole. It just is.
Last time I was there was about 4.5 years ago, and it had not gotten to the point to where it is now. But still, it was quite shocking, because you picture it to be this beautiful, just Golden Gate Bridge and the parks that you hear about, and just the city in general. And even when I was there, I was like, okay, am I in a good part of town or bad part of town? I think, and my plan was to go out there and try to find somewhere to eat, and I just didn't feel comfortable, and I didn't feel that bad. Because I've traveled a lot, and the last time I felt like that uncomfortable is when I flew into Baltimore, and the office I was going to was in a very rough part of town. I was like, ooh, I'm about to just go get on a plane and go home. That's kind of how I felt going through San Francisco, so I can only imagine how it is kind of now.
We've got a major league. It's not a political show. I'll just end on this, but we have a major league homeless problem, and these are not homeless. In my day, they're called bums. You're drunk and you're drug infested, and they can't get off of it. So what's San Francisco's solution? They have set up a station here where they will inject you with whatever drug you're using, and so it's clean and safe, and sends you on your way. Now they're having the federal government saying you can't do that. That's illegal. That's their solution to deal with the drug problem. And I said, well, wait a minute. So some guy comes in, he's on heroin or whatever. So you give him a measured dose, send him out in the street. What if he causes a crime? in my view, the city of San Francisco is then responsible because you injected him under your supervision, sent him on his own recognizance, and if he does something stupid because he's out of his own mind, that's on you. That's why nobody shows up to San Francisco. The companies, people are leaving in droves. It's great for me because they're coming to the suburbs. I'm about an hour north here in Sonoma County because they don't want to live there. It's too expensive. And why do you want to step on people like this? And yet you have to deal with them, and the city won't deal with it. This is the insanity that we have here in California. It's an absolute joke.
That's wild.
It is wild. It's beyond belief, but that's what they're doing.
But yeah. Oh, and speaking of companies moving, In-N-Out Burger's coming to Tennessee. Super pumped for that one.
You'll like In-N-Out.
Oh, well, I've had it before,
really
but I'm very excited at the fact they're moving out east. Very fond of a lot of things, what they believe in, that kind of deal. So super excited about that one. Because for the longest time, they had always talked about how, we have no plans to really go further than Texas. And, but yeah, a lot of companies are basically like, look, we gotta leave.
You're going to love it. It's a great franchise. And also Popeye's Chicken. We have one. We got a couple here in the Bay Area. That's, Hyper. Hyper is a good member of the community. Yeah. I've never had Popeye's Chicken.
Oh, really?
No, I don't know. And it's out here. I got to give it a try. I'll have this big box next time I see Hyper on the show.
Yeah.
The chicken fingers and red beans is where it's at. They got good gravy for the mashed potatoes too, though.
I got to give it a try. I've not tried it yet.
It's good.
See, we cover all bases on these shows, guys. It's more than just comic books. So, hey, guys, I got to run. I'm way late. Right. Thank you so much. Let's do this again. We'll be in touch.
Absolutely, bro.
Good. Take it easy.
Take care.
Bye. All right. So, yes, it is. And I like the screen name, Stacking Nines.
Popeyes is the shiznit. Yep.
Oh, come on now. I enjoyed it. Now, maybe it was a hype, but
I've never had it, so I can't really.
Hopefully soon. But before we get into our big topic of the night, which is funny because I was talking to Josh about this earlier, I have some pickups.
So do I.
I'm going to go first because mine probably aren't as cool as yours.
I mean, I don't really know, but.
Wrong one.
There we go.
All right. Look at there. So Josh had this.
The new trade.
Yep. Josh had this in my box for me. I probably wouldn't have ordered it based on my, the card transaction, but that's fine. I do appreciate Josh throwing it in there. Bingo, bango. And of course, Gunslinger. So that's what was in there. But picked up these bad boys because I have a problem. So I got this one, number 1. Dude, I messed everybody up on my picture, didn't I? I just left one out of order. Now I only brought 3 up because 2 of them have to go back because they came pretty badly damaged. I was like not shocked because it happens, but I was like, dang, organic price books, they always package it nearly perfectly. So honestly, it looks like it was kind of probably a damage from when it was shipped to them, not necessarily to me, but they were pretty beat up. So 2 and 5 are not here. But man, dude, these things are worth every dollar. Look how nice they are.
Yeah. It's I wonder if there's a whole lot of difference between those and the first prints.
I have no clue. Jim did a video on the reviewing of them, and I should probably check that out, but I didn't want to kind of ruin the experience for myself because I knew mine were coming. But yeah, I was pumped. To have those in. So that is all for me. You go ahead, Dustin.
Sorry. All right. So I got the Fantastic Four #3 poster in. It is fantastic. Love it. I got a few books that I picked up. This is one that came in that I actually had forgotten about from Encased Comics on Instagram. You guys go check them out. Great folks. So after the Jason David Frank stuff happened, instead of putting, they did an exclusive for Power Rangers Universe issue #1, featuring Lord Draken on the cover here. And instead of putting these up for sale like they initially intended to, they they kind of decided, we don't really feel good about making money off of what just happened, and other people getting the books and then trying to resell them and make money off of what just happened. And so they just put them up for free, one per customer. Go to our page, and go to the link in our description, and reserve a single copy for yourself. And I thought that was absolutely the coolest thing. I mean, these guys lost every dollar on this book, but
And who was it again?
Encased Comics on Instagram. But it was a really, really good cover. I thought it was fantastic. Obviously, this character is very special to me, being that it is the character that got me into comics. But I was just like, man, that was so cool, because that was something that we talked about. And I just feel like it's kind of shitty whenever someone dies, that oh man, let me go see if I have any books that have to do with this person, so that I can throw them up and try to bump the price up 50% over what it's selling for now, because people are going to want to buy it. It's just, which it's also, I think it's crazy that people decide once somebody dies that now it's important and I want to go get it. Like, I don't know. It's, the whole thing is crazy. And then I got another delivery from, oh my gosh, I forgot. How do I forget this guy's Instagram name?
I'll see if I can find it real quick for you.
Nexo Comics on Instagram. Been pretty much buying stuff from this guy like at least every other week. I've got stuff coming in.
Yeah, all the time.
Kung
That's
Fu
cool.
Panda #1. I thought this was like first Kung Fu Panda in comics, but it's not. They actually put out something a little earlier, when Kung Fu Panda 2, the movie, came out. But this book actually kind of follows Kung Fu Panda #1, the movie. So I kind of like this one better anyway, but still thought it was super cool. So I picked that one up. And if you guys watched our 2023 goals video, if you didn't, I don't blame you, because Nick kind of said don't, but
I think it actually did better than I thought it was going to do.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's got several hundred views at this point, and I don't think if we put goals, anybody was going to watch it. We should see
Right.
what the views were last year for it.
Yeah. So anyway, there was a book in there that I specifically wanted to pick up in a 9.8. And so I ended up with, I'm going to try to make my own 9.8s, which is what I prefer to do. So I ended up with 2 copies this week. One of them, one on eBay, very, very cheap. Definitely has a shot at a 9.8. And then Nexo Comics on Instagram, I got another copy that has a very, very good shot at hitting a 9.8 for even cheaper. One of these copies, the one from Nexo, was less than $50. And I mean, it's a fantastic, beautiful copy of this book. And, if I can get it to hit a 9.8, I'm going to be so thrilled. Again, it's something that I want to put on my wall. It's for my PC, but 9.8s go for like $450 to $550. So, I mean, to pick one up in near mint condition for under $50, and Nexo Comics on Instagram, the guy's always got some really, really good deals on books, and a huge, broad range of selection from Golden Age all the way to modern. You can get, stuff like this, which you guys know, like I like picking up like weird stuff like that most people don't know about. So, but these were definitely the pickups of the week that I'm extremely excited about. So I'm going to be pressing these bad boys up this week, and cannot wait to get them sent into CGC and see if I can get at least 198. I don't care if I don't need both of them to hit. I just want one to hit. If both of them hit, that's cool. One of them definitely end up on Elite, but I want 198 for my wall. Have to have it. And the last thing is, last week, told you guys that I had got myself into a little trouble with deciding I wanted to start collecting something else. This is bothering me. That camera had me off center pretty bad. And today my wife wanted to go book shopping again, which was totally cool with me, because we went to used bookstores.
Has your wife gotten on a book kick lately?
she's been on one for like 2 years. Like it's yeah, she has this monthly subscription box that comes in. Like it's all kind of stuff.
Okay, so her and Sky are the same.
Yeah. But used bookstores, I was totally cool with it because I was looking for these bad boys, the original Volume 1 Goosebumps. And I was worried I wasn't going to find any, but I actually did today. And it's cool because you can actually open them up, and it says right here, if it'll focus, it's hard to see, but first Scholastic printing, and it's got the date in there. So this was July 1993. This was the Little Camp of Horrors. I don't know what the release number on this one was, but I also found this is number 15, and this is the You Can't Scare Me. So I found that one. And again, these aren't like the most perfect condition. This one's got a little sticker there. I got to heat that up and get that off, and a little bit of sticker residue on the front. So I found those two, and I found number 43. This is the worst one out of all of them, but I think I got this one for less than $1, but the whole cover's torn and taped together. But this is The Beast from the East. And if you see on these books an advertisement for the show on Fox Kids or anything like that, then it's a first print on these later issues, because they always put that on there. And then I also found this is number 41, I believe. I can't remember, but it is the Bad Hair Day. So that was cool. But the one that I could not believe I found, and the one that is in the best shape out of all of them, is one of the absolute instant classics. And when it comes to Goosebumps, there are essentially like 4, maybe 5 of these stories. Bro, hit me up on the Instagram, bro, please. I'm begging. I even put up some stuff on Instagram today. If anybody has got these Volume 1 Goosebumps books, like I loved these things as a kid. And a couple of weeks ago, I was over at my buddy Britt's house, and I was talking to him and Jeff, and Britt started talking about them. And Jeff got Britt this lunchbox with a thermos that I had as a kid in elementary school. And it just immediately hit me right in the nostalgia hard. So
That's
I
our
immediately
Instagram right there.
decided, you know what? I got to get all the Goosebumps books. I want to read through them all again, and then I want to put them on a shelf. They have these awesome Goosebump bookends that I'm going to get and put them on my shelf and have them displayed. And then when my kid gets older, hopefully he'll want to like read them. I asked him if he wanted Daddy to read them to him, and he said no, because he looked a little scary. But yeah, if you want to get rid of those, please let me know, because I refuse to pay these. And I don't know how much you would want for them, but I mean, what people are asking for them on eBay, they're not selling for that. And I've tried to make offers that were reasonable, and they refuse to. So I'm like, okay, if you think you're going to get $500 for a set of Goosebumps books, good luck, because I have not seen anywhere that anybody has sold any for that. So, but like I was saying, there's like 5 essential classics when it comes to these Goosebumps books. And
Warlord sent over a picture of his collection.
Awesome, dude. Because he said he had a run too. So
yeah. Kyle, I remember Dustin constantly reading. I don't know if it was high school, but it was. I
was reading like late elementary and early middle school, and we always watched the show. I don't know if you remember seeing it, but we always watched the
creepy guy in the rocking chair at first, right?
Yep,
something like that. Yeah.
Dog on the that would have the eyes change.
So see, this is probably why I don't like scary movies or to feel.
He was probably too young, but anyway, Say Cheese and Die. This is one of the absolute like classics when it comes to Goosebumps. And one of the some of these books, they actually kind of ended up taking characters from the books, ended up becoming almost like mascots for the franchise, like Slappy, the doll from the Living Dummy, Nightmare of the Living Dummy, and then this guy in here, which is actually on the bookends. And this book is actually in the Goosebumps Collector's 10 exclusives, collector's 10s that I actually just bought one of those on eBay too. But this was one that was in there. So I could not believe that I found this. And my biggest thing was I wanted them to have like, relatively nice spines because that's how they're going to display. But this thing was in incredible condition. I think I got it for $1.50. So I'm glad that I have found something that when I do find these, I can pick them up, and they're going to be like most of the time at the very most like $2. It's not something that everybody's out here looking for, and that the price is just insane, except for some people on eBay. But
Hey,
it's something that's going to
Dustin.
bring me a whole hell of a lot of joy to sit and read through these and have this collection. I can't wait. Plus, R.L. Stein's going to be in Atlanta in 2 weeks, and there's a couple of them I really want to have by then because I want to get him to sign them. This one being one of them.
So I just accepted the message request from. Okay, so his YouTube's name is the same as, but it's Vatos Los or Vato Los.
Okay.
So I just accepted it. Respond to him. I'm not
Okay.
responding on behalf of Dustin, but I did accept it. So, and then Warlord. Oh, that's cool. I'll show the pictures up real quick of his collection. So, but he said he's got them boxed up in his closet. So that's pretty cool, man. But yeah, I was never really into those. But again, I don't really like scary movie as things now, anyways. So it is what it is. But that's cool though that you did find something. For me,
Yeah,
I'm
I
doing.
got you should have seen. We went in half price books, and Amanda goes one way, and me and Hagen we go to the kids books, and I'm looking, and I'm like, okay, all right, because most of these bookstores I've come to find they don't. I forget that in libraries that everything is done by the author's last name
Yep.
in alphabetical order. So I'm looking in the G's, and I'm like, hold on, none of these titles are alphabetized. So I go ask somebody, I'm like, hey, how do y'all have is there any order to how the books are put on the shelf? She was like, yes, it's alphabetical. I was like, okay, well, I think some kids come over here and messed up the whole kids section then because nothing's alphabetical. And she walks over there and she was like, no, it's sir, are you looking at like the book title? I was like, well, yeah. She's like, no, I'm sorry. It's they're in alphabetical order according to the author's last name. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that from that time I was at the library that one time. And she was like, what are you looking for? And I was like, Goosebumps. And she was like, yeah, I don't think we have any. So I'm just kind of browsing around. Then I find Animorphs, which was another thing that was huge at the same time Goosebumps was. And I had a friend of mine that was big Animorphs reader, and I was Goosebumps, and he was trying to tell me how much more sophisticated Animorphs was. And I'm like, number one, looking back now, I'm like, we were like 9, 10 years old. I'm like, you
Yeah.
don't tell me shit about sophisticated. Like, you're reading the same thing I am, dude. You're probably just too scared to read Goosebumps, is all it is. So I find the Animorphs, and I'm looking through those, and I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm not getting Animorphs because I didn't read those. And I just happened to turn and I saw Goosebumps, and I was like, ooh, they do have a few. And I saw that the Say Cheese and Die. And when my wife came around the corner and I had these, and she was excited that I was excited I found them, because that was something that she knew I was like, all right, this is his new thing. Like, Jesus Christ, this dude and his freaking habits and hobbies and collecting is killing us. But
Well, and I'm trying to do the same thing. Like, I'm trying hard, like we talked about last week, not to go down the retro video Game Boy stuff. I'm trying
yeah,
hard not to go down Yu-Gi-Oh. If you've noticed, Yu-Gi-Oh is popping up more and more on our Instagram stuff. I'm like, Jesus, this is tough.
yeah. Well,
Adult money.
I even started looking at like the dang Goosebumps movies. Like, they put like 4 or 5 movies out on VHS, and you can still buy sealed copies of some of them. Like,
Warlord has them.
I
I
don't
believe in
remember.
his
I don't know if
collection.
you remember me putting on "Don't Go in the Basement," which was the Goosebumps movie. It was actually the show based on the book, and they weren't really like movies. They were basically like episodes that would be on tape. But it was the one where the kid's dad was in the basement. He's eating plant food, and he turns green, and he's like turns into a plant. Like, it
No, I don't.
was crazy, dude. Crazy. I loved it. But I'm like, I found sealed copies of these VHSs on eBay, and I'm sitting here like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it.
It's hard not to, man. Oh, I'm so excited for these. I wasn't going to unseal them. I'm like, you know what? I spent a lot of money on these. Look how sick. These things got stupid expensive.
Oh yeah, I bet they go down now.
Oh, yeah. They're probably back to retail. There's no reason to buy a first edition.
Mm-mm.
Ooh, some printing. Very neat though. I'm super excited. If you guys have never seen the inside of a Spawn, super cool. So I am very happy to have these. Super pumped. Um, so we've been going for about 2 hours. Do we even want to get into the topic, or do we want to save it?
Probably save it, man. I got a Comic-Con to go to tomorrow.
Which one?
I am meeting the fellas at 8:15 at Quick Trip. We're gonna grab us a little bit of a breakfast, probably via drive-through, and then we are off to Atlanta in the Uncle Richie mobile.
Oh, okay. Is it Atlanta Comic Con?
Well, it's the quarterly convention.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is the Atlanta Comic Book Convention. Atlanta Comic Con is in February, so I mean, like I told you last week, it's again a new owner for the third year in a row.
Yeah.
They've lined up some pretty good guests. It looks like already. So a lot of them I think you would be more interested in because it seems more like your kind of thing type people. But yeah, definitely you need to make plans to be here for that weekend. You know, me and you have hit Atlanta for the last 2 years and
I've only been to
kinda
Atlanta once.
was it just last year that we went?
Yeah, and
The
like
fir
they had a bunch of neat stuff, but nobody was there.
Yeah, I think this year's supposed to be like I think they're really trying to bring an actual comic convention to Atlanta with this one. Um,
Yeah,
it's
because remember it was
it was
Brian
owned
was
last year by that company that owns, like, several cons, and they
well,
didn't
well
fund
what
any
Brian
of it.
told us, I believe, was it was advertised by the original owners and then sold off, and the new people didn't really care about advertising or anything like that. It was just basically it was already done, so they had to commit. So we'll see, but yeah, it was really underwhelming.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be better this year. So, plus, you know, it's in Atlanta. It's not that far of a drive. You
It
can
is
make it.
Atlanta though.
Yeah, I know, but it's
Like
Comic-Con.
likely to get our stuff stolen, and
It's Comic-Con weather.
it's like the California of the Southeast now. Of course, here in Huntsville, we've had shootings about every 2 days,
Yeah.
and bank robberies, so it's just happening everywhere now.
Yo, Slappy the Doll is iconic. Absolutely. They've actually got a Slappy the Doll collectible. It comes in this Goosebumps backpack that I'm probably going to end up buying that too. First, I got to get the books and the bookends. That's my biggest thing. Curse of the Mummy's Tomb. Yup. I loved the Night in Terror Tower. I loved that one. I loved there was one that came out and I don't think it was volume 1. It was when they started doing the pick your own scare in the books, but it was something Rattlesnake Canyon, I think. I really liked that one. I liked Horrorland, the original, like not the horror because they ended up doing spinoffs, Goosebumps Horrorland series, but Horrorland was really good. I really liked um, what was another one I really liked? The Haunted Masks, both of them, of course. And man, I used to love how excited I was whenever I found out that Goosebumps was going to be finally doing the Haunted Mask. It's going to be a TV premiere, and it was on Halloween, and I had to get my mom to. We had to record it on VHS. Please record it. And then the next year, they came out with the Haunted Mask 2, and we had to record that one. Man, I loved that stuff so much. Like it was crazy. I mean, you guys know how I get about stuff that I loved as a kid. Power Rangers, Mortal Kombat, I mean, so this Goosebumps thing has just bit me hard recently. So I'm really excited about it and getting to kind of relive that a little bit. So plus these are only like 120 pages. And if you look at them, I mean, I could probably finish one of these in about an hour. So I know Nick's probably looking at it thinking like that's a 15-minute read, but for me, it's about an hour.
No, if you can, I think that's an hour-long book,
Yeah.
time yourself because I'm very
Yeah.
interested to see how long it takes you.
Yeah, I'm excited to read through them, and what I was thinking about doing is like read an issue, read a book, and then go watch the show, the episode, because they're all on Netflix. So I thought that would just be something fun to do and kind of relive that a little bit. So plus the idea of being able to meet R.L. Stine in a couple weeks. They're doing a big horror convention here in Atlanta, and they're calling it a horror convention, but I think there's more people from the cast of Sons of Anarchy that are going to be there than anybody else. So I thought that was kind of funny. But for me, I was just like, I'm buying the ticket, go check out, what's going on with R.L. Stein, get a picture, say my thank yous. Depending on how much he charges, I hope it's not a lot for a signature, but because there's at least 5 books I would love to get signed. And then I'm good with just rolling out because I'm not like some crazy big horror fan. Like I don't care about Jason and Freddy and all those guys. Like they don't really, I'm not like Nick where it scares me. It just wasn't ever something that interested me. So, but the R.L. Stein thing would be really cool. He's always come off as like a real creepy guy too, like in the shows and stuff when he would show up. I'm R.L. Stein.
You think he's a
You know
prick?
how Todd was in the beginning of the Spawn
Todd
cartoons?
McFarlane?
Yeah. Like R.L. Stein's kind of got that weird, creepy vibe going on, but it's even more so. But the intro and the song for Goosebumps is definitely one of the best ever for an episodic TV show. I mean, it was iconic as it could possibly be. Iconic. I mean, if you were a kid who grew up in the 90s and Book Fair rolled around, there was 2 things you was trying to get. One, you wanted that Corvette poster, and 2, we wanted the Goosebumps, man. Like I saw kids buy Goosebumps books, and I'm like, this motherfucker ain't never gonna read that. Like I ain't never even seen him. I don't even know if he knows how to read, but it was cool. It was the first thing that I remember ever reading that did not have pictures in it. So I'm very, very excited to have these for sure. Just little tiny things. I mean, like $6 right there, and I'm as excited as I would be if I had just bought like a new $1,000 comic. I think it's just I'm stupid.
Nah.
And I'm sure these guys that are hitting me up saying that they have some they want to get rid of are like, oh yeah, we about to make bank on this fool. He wants them. He's gonna pay up.
That's too funny. No, yeah, I think I have a problem, Dustin.
What's that? You want me to look for an FF48 for you tomorrow and try to swindle a deal? Because you know I will.
No, I mean it would have to be like stupid cheap. But I was gonna pull up GPA and then also show you this other thing. So look, so GPA on this, not as low as I thought it was. So I
What
have
are you looking
FF48.
at? Okay,
And
48. Gotcha.
yeah. So, and of course, you know me, I'm dropping all the way down to like a 1520 as long as the cover's good. I'm like, damn, this is more expensive than I thought it was.
Really? You think that's expensive for the first appearance of Silver Surfer? Your idea of what is expensive for a Monster Key comic is totally fucked.
Yeah, basically. I was thinking I might be able to get it somewhere around $500. Maybe
No.
a raw copy at like a low grade raw,
No.
maybe.
No,
But we'll see.
you're not. You're not getting a raw copy that low.
A 1.0 sold for $700.
Doesn't matter. You're not finding a raw copy with a cover on it for 500, guaranteed.
We'll see.
Because there's 2 things you're not thinking about. One, most of these people have more into it than that, and 2, they're not going to sell it for that low when they know it at some point within the next 24 months it's going to triple in value.
Everybody thought that with Wolverine, and see how the hell that worked for them.
Well, this isn't really Wolverine either. I mean, this isn't like
Right. Wolverine's a much bigger character than Silver Surfer.
It's also a much heavier printed book and more available.
What, Wolverine or Silver Surfer?
Wolverine 181. I mean, the way it flooded the market. I mean, but
a 1.8 sold for $800.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I mean,
2.0 sold for $877.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but when you get that low, like people are not going to sell raws. That once you get to that low condition, you're not paying much less for a raw copy than you would just to buy a graded one.
We'll see. You never know. All it's going to take is me throwing out one stupid offer for somebody to say yes, and I have to pay for it.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay.
I'm intrigued. And then also,
you get a raw copy for $500, and I'll throw $100 in on it. If the cover is there, it's attached and complete. That's how confident I am that you're not.
Hey.
Both staples have to be attached, and it's got to be a complete book.
Look, and then I was looking at my cart for organic price books. So books coming out this year, I need to pre-order. Look at that. This is so stupid. But I have to buy volume 4. All right. Gotta get this one because I don't think I have it, and it's a great one. Spider-Man 2099. Gotta get it because it was fantastic. This is stupid though. $150 for that. That's dumb as shit. Gotta keep going with the Star Wars stuff because I'm already committed.
See, that mindset has never made sense to me with people. Well,
What?
I already committed to buying, these, so I'm gonna buy the rest of them to go
You already
with it.
have volume
I
1
don't
of
give a
this
shit
one.
about them. Like, I've always thought that was crazy. That's why I'm not a fan of the whole run collecting type deal personally, because I'm just like, do I really want to waste money on shit I could give a damn about just because why? You know?
Well, I gotta get this one. I'm truly a fan of that one now.
Yeah, those Teen Titans. I'm telling you, you and Justin both, man. If y'all want those Teen Titans books, man, any of those keys or anything, now's the time, dude. Because
Well, I don't really care so
Teen
much about
Titans
the
is something
keys.
that could definitely be very popular if DC did them right on screen and make the books go up.
Yeah.
Because apparently that's just how things work. I mean, we don't have any actual scientific equation to explain why movie equates to now
Mhm.
you have to pay more for the book, or now I want to pay more for the book, I should say.
Yeah.
I still, that will never ever make sense to me. I mean, the book's been around for how long, and much more important than whatever is going to be on that screen. Crazy to me. You people are nuts. I'm telling you, all of you, you're all crazy.
Yeah, I was trying to
And
decide
I'm
on
not looping myself into it because I was not a part of this when all of this craziness was in input, when this was all put together. I was
yeah.
never a part of that.
Well, and then this is my manga shopping cart of stuff I need to pick up, and I actually maxed it out. They only let you put in 50 products, and I didn't want to keep going past because I
Ain't that
was
crazy that they do something like that? I just found out eBay has a limit on how many things you can have on your watch list today.
yeah, that's dumb.
Yeah,
Because literally I was trying to add another 26 books of a manga run.
yeah.
Just I'm trying to get an idea like, okay, obviously this stuff I don't have to buy right now, but like just trying to get an idea. And I was trying to add another 26 books of a specific title and it maxed me out at 50. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna put all of or 3 of the 26 in, so I took them out. But I was
Later,
like,
Kyle. Talk to
good
you later,
lord.
buddy. Yeah, I think it's crazy that, like, eBay would put a limit on
Yeah.
what you can have on your watch list. I'm like, really, bro? Like, why would you
Mhm.
do that? That's just dumb.
Dumba bumba bumba bumba.
Oh, B Ramy, I don't know if you're still here, man, but that Defenders book is looking tight.
What do you
It's
mean?
already done, bro. It's in the press right now.
Oh.
I cleaned it up real nice and took a peek before the show. We grade bumping on that one, I believe, sir. I think we definitely getting the grade bump on that one. Yes, sir. Let's go.
Hmm.
I got Comic Man Andy's Canto #1 in. So, hey, we're gonna see if we can go 3 for 3 on these major bumps on these cantos. I mean, I sent the one I bought from JB, the 7.5 or 7.075. That one got sent off this week, so I should have that one back in a couple of weeks with a major grade bump
Yeah.
on that one. And if I'm lucky, if I get lucky, there's a chance that nobody guessed the right grade that it's going to get. Just saying. Just saying. But yeah, my goal in life right now is to hit a 9.8 on Canto 1. Number 1, Nick got me into that series and I loved it. I loved Volume 1. Volume 2 was really good. I did not really get into anything after that. It just kind of fell off for me personally. But I loved Volume 1. My wife read and loved Volume 1. So I want to have a 9.8 in that number 1. But I want to make my own. That's kind of how I've gotten at this point where I don't want to buy a 9.8. I want to make my own. It's kind of like how I feel about going on eBay and buying a book versus hunting it down in the wild. I feel like I like to put in the work. I like the journey to get there. That's my thing, and I like the the feeling you get when it's like, I had this goal and I finally succeeded. I got it. I hunted the book down, and I had to search for it, and I went to all these shows and these shops, and I finally found the copy I wanted. I got it for the price I wanted it, and now I have it, and it's on to the next one. So that's kind of how I feel about the 9/8 on these books now too. Whenever it's something modern or something that I want to hit a 9/8 on. So I mean, that's something that's cool. So I'm looking forward to getting that one done for Andy. I've
Dustin,
yeah.
Look at this. 48, 49, 50, all three for less than $1,000.
I feel like, yeah, but it looks like that FF48, the top corner's been cut out.
It don't matter. It's still complete, and
It's not
all
complete.
three of them for less than $1,000.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's still
that
incredible.
seems fishy to me though. I don't know. That seems like something's up.
No, I mean, it had plenty of bids, and look at that. Would you look at that?
Yeah.
Just saying, they're out
Read the
there.
description. Click on it. Let's look at the description of it. Nope, that's facsimiles. Yeah.
I know.
I don't know if you guys looked at my IG lately. Just picked up a Zelda comic. They shipped it in a bag, a big box duct tape to a piece of plexiglass. Wow. Yeah, I'm going to check that out. I'm going to check that out for sure. May have some damage to the cover, but integrity is still intact. Binding may be slightly damaged, but integrity is still intact. Possible writing in margins, possible underlining and highlights in the text, but no missing pages. So yeah, that's that.
It's
So,
still
yeah.
a 1-0. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Depending on how much writing and highlighting is in it, you get end up with a 0.5.
Yeah, but still, you
'Cause
said
we had
there's
I submitted an FF.
now you're moving the goalpost. You said a complete book with both staples. You'll never see them for that much. And I just found 3 of them. Even if you divided it equally,
I said you won't get them for that.
I'm saying they're out there, so you don't know what I'll get the chance to get.
He ain't gonna get it.
Just saying, dude.
I won't bid
I
the
just proved you
motherfucker up.
wrong, and that sold 3 days ago.
I'll be on eBay watching, like, oh, that one's not 500 yet. Okay, that one's not 600 yet. Let me bid that up real quick. Y'all gonna see Dustin's gonna have about 18 FF48s this year. Let Silver Surfer hit the damn movies. It's on, baby. But yeah, so 0.5 for 600, and that was a couple of days ago. There's no way I would spend 600 on a 0.5. I would rather spend like $2,000 and get a decent grade. But see, that's the difference between me and you. Like, you'll spend thousands of dollars on hardcovers and manga all year that's not ever going to appreciate for shit. And me, I'll spend that money on one book that is going to kick ass for decades. You know what I'm saying? See, like, what is that?
Or you just do both.
A 4.0 for, yeah, because I got that kind of money. 4.0 for 1,300. So like for $2,000, like you probably end up with like a 6.0 at this point. eBay's gotten wild, man. Like I see some stuff go low on eBay. I just bought a new press on there. You know how much those presses I buy cost, and I got one for under $200. I mean, I couldn't believe.
Whoa! This seems sketchy.
It is. There ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Somebody did that just to see if it would
one
buy.
sell. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No way. That's one reason why, like, I hate that people look at eBay as the end all be all of pricing, because you only want to, number one, most people are only want to do that when it is something that is going to help their case. You know, if
Well,
you're
that's
trying to
human
buy
nature.
something, well, it's sold on eBay for this much. You're like, yeah, okay. Do you know that it got paid for? That it wasn't canceled afterwards? Do you know that it wasn't the person that sold it didn't sell it to themselves to try to lower or bump the price, or that it was a fake sell, that the book was never actually transitioned at all? Like, you don't ever know any of that shit. So like that's the one thing I hate about the eBay stuff. I mean, because
at the same time, that happens a lot less than not, so it's still a valid place.
Yeah. Yeah, but when you see like some of these like some of these crazy sales, like if it gets canceled, if the person bids it up and then doesn't ever pay, that still shows up as a sale
Yeah,
on
but
the
whenever you
sold
can look at
list.
a book like Fantastic Four 48, where dozens of them are selling, you still have
Yeah,
a very good data point.
yeah.
If it's a one-off book like the Eminem
Well, that's
Spider-Man
why I
book.
like to look at like GPA because they pull from more than just eBay.
Yeah.
So they pull from multiple platforms. So um that's where I that's why I like to use GPA and just look at you can look at averages and that I like that. I like that to me is a better way to go. But I wish that eBay would implement something that shows like, you know, this sale was canceled. So then don't put it in your sold listings because when you do that, that messes up things like GPA and Go Collect because they still end up in that algorithm. But
Mhm.
eBay actually hates the fact that comic books are sold on there. They hate it.
Why?
I was reading something several months back, and some big wigs at eBay were being interviewed about some stuff, and they were saying there was something about like the whole comic thing is just such a pain in the ass because it's so easy for you to do a return because it wasn't as described or stuff like that. Like they said, comic books and among other things, but comic books specifically that was just one of those things where there's such high amounts of money that are being interchanged, but it's one of those things where it's like it can be canceled or be asked to be
Yeah.
returned because it wasn't as described, and it's like I think as a seller, that's when it's your duty to make sure you put very, very, very good pictures and multiple pictures. I hate whenever somebody's trying to sell a book and they use a stock image. It's like, well, hell yeah, I definitely want to buy that.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you shitting me? There's a guy that's got this Mortal Kombat cards. He's got a full set of the 100 cards of Mortal Kombat, and they're in this plastic case, real nice, and just has pictures of the case, front, back, sides, and I'm like, how about show like what some of the art on the cards look like so that I know what set this is. And I've messaged him like 3 times, like, hey, bro, I really want to. I'm very interested in buying these cards, but I kind of want to know what set it is. I'm looking for a specific set because there's one of those trading card sets that uses the art like this from the Midway comic book, which is like my book,
Mhm.
and I want those cards. So, um, I'm like, can you let me know?
Hmm.
So we'll see. What's up, Russ? How did it go on Elite, man? I popped on there for a minute. We were having our family game night, which is every single night actually now. We get in here and play Sorry or cards or something pretty much every night since we went on vacation at that cabin and sat and played games all weekend. Now we play board games every day, but I popped on there. I saw that you was on there, but wasn't able to stay. How about that TMNT 62 that sold on Elite last weekend, baby? Boom! Claimed.
Yeah. Exactly. It's kind of hard not to, man. I never buy one comic only lots personally. Okay. Yeah, I think comic lots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good deal, Russ. Glad to hear, man. I know you was sitting on some stuff.
So Mountain Peaks, I really enjoyed 2099. It actually took me from 2099 to Old Man Logan to Maestro or Imperfect Future to Maestro. Like, dude, I went down a rabbit hole, and I really enjoyed Rick Leonardi's artwork. He did a Spider-Man commission for me back here, like a little. He's the only artist I've ever had do that for me. I'm actually just scrolling through just kind of compare and see, because if anybody's gonna have a FF48, it would be these guys. But I'm curious to see,
Keep an eye on Grails and Diamond Comic Club too.
oh, I need
Because
that one.
that Diamond Comic Club, I have been seeing some incredible deals on there. Like stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Every now and then they get really expensive, but every now and then oh my god, dude, are you kidding me? Was that a 9.4 Cap 100 for $34.99? That is awesome. See that Cap 100 down there?
Yeah, nobody cares about that one.
That's crazy good price for that.
I'm-
Sold that 194. Hell yeah, dude.
I need
If you guys aren't following Elite, man,
to
you
think
guys need
about
to go
that.
follow them.
Remind me to come back in GPA this one, Dustin.
Okay. So if you guys, if this is your first time seeing Elite Comics, they're on Instagram and only Instagram. They're a consignment page and extremely trusted. You cannot, they will not allow you to consign any books on their page without getting. They ask for references and they check references on you and stuff like that. Like
You have to do a drug test. Is this whole
yeah,
thing?
like well, I know a professional athlete that is well known, and they still made him get references. So like I still had to vouch for him to sell on here. That yeah, he's a good dude, and you know he's gonna ship, and you know they want to make sure that you ain't just you know some scammer trying to, which Elite guarantees anything anyway. Like you're not gonna get screwed with Elite because they guarantee that if something happens, like they're going to take care of it. And they do great live sales almost every night with some of the best sellers you'll see. Russell, who that's on there. I get on there with my buddy Sean, and we have awesome time on there. But you can find some great deals on this page. You can ask Nick. We've scrolled through here before and be like, holy crap, I can't believe that went for that cheap. So definitely an awesome place to look. Oh man, 8.0 on the FF25. Hell yeah. 1649. Sold that. Russ said he knows someone that's got a 48, Nick. Glad you sold that 194, man. I know you was trying to, so now it's on to the upgrade, or is that one that you're wanting to put back, or no?
Batman 227. What do you mean, Blake? And then who dat? What do you mean? FF40 or not? What do you mean? What is the grade? Because I
Yeah.
would be looking for a low one.
Blake, did you see a Batman 227 on Elite, or was you talking about the one that I got? My beautiful copy. It's not for sale, but if you guys did anybody watch any of the shorts that I put up this week? I know a lot of people watched the one I did about my top pickups. That one did pretty well. It had over 1,000 views in the first 15, 20 minutes. So that was cool. But I did another one, and I was going to try to do those like at least once a week, where I just pick a book in my collection and just do a YouTube short. You know, I paid this much for it in, you know, whatever year it was, and just kind of like show like, you know, how the value of my collection's kind of fluctuating up and down. You know, did I do good? Did I not?
How in the world is the 49 cheaper than 48?
Because people love Surfer more. Dude, that John Wick book, I cannot believe that John Wick book is worth so much. Like, I knew Raw, that book goes for like $100, but I did not know in a 9.8 that people were going to be like going nuts over it. There was a lot of people commenting on that, I think. I don't know if anybody claimed it, but yeah, a lot of people. Is it really? I did not know that, Blake. I know that it's I know it started getting a lot more expensive after Neil passed. I got my copy like 2 months before he died, Nick. I mean, just and honestly, it was just I was at Lexington Comic-Con, and I'm always the big spender when we go to these shows. Justin and Nick are just tossing money around everywhere. Nick's buying keys out his ass. And I'm standing here at the best booth at the show with the biggest books at the show. And honestly, I think this booth could go toe to toe with anybody at any show as far as like having keys and I'm talking about the big dogs. And I'm like, man, how am I standing here and I can't find anything I want to buy? And I made the decision last year. I wanted to add some more DC, especially Batman stuff. And they had a copy of that. And I was like, you know, it's never been I've always like thought the book was cool, but it's never been something that was on my list. Like, I really want to have that. but I've never actually looked at one either. And they had a 7.0 signed by Neil Adams. I got it for $150 under what it had sold for in a blue label 7.0 the day before. And I got the yellow label Neil Adams signature on it. So I was like,
I don't
yeah,
know why,
you know
but
what, I'll do that.
this guy right here just looks so kind. Like somebody you just want to like buy him a cup of coffee. He just looks so like I was like, what? Oh, you look very nice.
I bet he is a hell of a damn peepaw. That's what he looks like to me. He looks like he
Maybe
would just
that's
be a
it.
good peepaw, man. Russ said he's got that 7.0 white pages. Nick is trying to get an FF48 for like 500 or less. Russ, that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah, well, as the economy continues to crash, yeah, it's gonna happen.
I wish that Batman 189 would go down. God dang, that book is still expensive. Ooh, there's Brits. Oh no, that's not Brits. Yeah, that's Brits. That Deadpool.
Mm.
That's we both picked one of those up at Heroes earlier this year.
Mm.
Hey, Warlord, you can make offers to them as well, dude. Like I said, all these books are, they are consignment books. So you make an offer on it, and they'll ask the person if they want to take that offer, and you'd be surprised, bro. You'd be surprised. So y'all definitely go hit Elite up, make some offers. Now that Deadpool there, you ever seen that one, dude? That one that had sold across it, that Siege.
Oh yeah,
That's like that Deadpool Wolverine book, where Wolverine's in his costume, like just ghost books.
that's so dumb. $525 for that book is just stupid to
I
me.
sold my 2.5 for 500 because I had a 49 2.5. I want to get a FF112 and like a 9.0, but it needs to come down some. Faux show. 9.0 for 749. That ain't bad.
I think
I
it's
wanted
just a
that
stupid book.
1.0 Doctor Doom right there. Man, I was trying my ass off to scrape together the $3,000 to buy that book. $3,000 for a first Doom. That's crazy low for a complete book. $3,150, bro. I bet I could have got that for $2,900. It's just been one that I've had on my list every year, and this year I guess I finally took it off the list. But it's just I want to get that Batman 189 in like a 7.0 or better, but I want to pay like under 300 for a 7.0 because I'm still stuck in the mindset of what it was worth 3 years ago. So it just kind of keeps getting pushed to the back burner because other stuff pops up that I'm like, I'd rather get this. I'd rather get this. So there's some other Batman stuff I want to get instead. If I saw it for a stupid deal, I'd probably grab it up, but it's not really on my list right now, though.
I don't like how I can't see the prices immediately on this.
Oh yeah, they're on the second page, I think, or it might be. It's probably in the comments on theirs, dude. That Djurvic variant has been selling like hotcakes this week. I think 2 of them sold on Elite,
So
and then
dumb.
1 sold on Heritage for like $43K. Century number 1, I missed my chance to get that one in a 9.8, and the only reason why I wanted to is because you have to scroll through their IG. Yeah, they don't have like an inventory listing. But that Sentry number 1, I wanted to get first appearance of Sentry because I really thought he was a badass character in the new Avengers series I read. Don't worry, yours still has not even got into grading yet. I checked today, actually. Same with B. Raimi's book. But good news, economy tier has now come down from 284 days to 175 working days. So that's good. They're making progress on the economy tier. I want to upgrade my turtles, man. I still haven't got it graded, but I want to upgrade it.
Nope. What are you typing, Dustin, or texting? You're supposed to be
I'm
talking.
talking to Warlord about Goosebumps.
You're supposed to be keeping people entertained. Oh, here's a FF5. 11 grand.
FF2 is getting extremely affordable. But I want an FF3 before I get an FF2, I think. And FF3 is more hard to find than FF2, I think, by far. Russ said he got his 48 for 150. Ooh, that makes me want to kick him square in the nads. That was going to be my first thing when we got to the. Hey, what was that? Go back up. That Daredevil 9-0. Is that signed by Stan Lee? I think I saw that one.
Yep.
Signed by Stan Lee on the back cover. Nice. Oh, there's the Eminem Punisher. That's the real Eminem book. Y'all are out here acting crazy over this Eminem Spider-Man book. That Punisher is the real deal, man. That's the one that I want. And you could not hardly ever find them. And all of a sudden, I think that's the same book that I saw on Diamond. No, it's not. It's not.
Yeah.
But that was another one that went for around $3,000 too. And I was like, dang.
So they have this one for $49.9, and then 4 seconds later. Okay, so it's a different. Okay, 1810. Dang.
That one on Elite that sold for like 3,100. It started out at like 4,400, and within 2 weeks, it had the price dwindled down to 3,100.
Mm-hmm.
Avengers 1, that's another one I want that the price just does not seem to go down on still. It keeps holding, and it is pissing me off.
I've not seen like a lower copy than like 2.0 on here.
I think by the time that book came out, people were starting to take a little bit better care of their books, so it might not be like as of a 9.2 Surfer 4. I wonder how much that bastard cost. Okay, not
55.
nearly as much as I thought it would. Not nearly as much as I thought it would. But FF3, I was saying, that's one I've been wanting for like 2 years now, and that one is definitely more scarce than like FF2 and FF4 for sure. And I think FF3 is an extremely slept up. You know what? Let me shut up till I get a copy. That's the Superman I want right there. Oh my God, I want that damn Superman book. Yes.
Not that bad.
It's not at all, dude. I think that is the coolest damn Superman, dude. I want that so bad. I've looked at copies of that I don't know how many times. Oh, Kang the Conqueror. There's a FF3. I wonder how much that 6.0 is.
Where? Oh.
Right there. Probably about $4,000. Yep. Damn, I'm good. I picked up a Kang the Conqueror first appearance recently. Last weekend, got me a Rawls copy for around $520. It's already been pressed, cleaned, and looking real pretty.
Mm-hmm.
It's already at CGC, so I should get that.
I may just settle to get this one, man, just because of the cover.
I mean, honestly, I know you haven't read any of it yet, but I would go with Surfer 1 before I would go with that FF50. I think Surfer 1's a better cover.
No, I don't like this one as much.
No? I think Kirby killed it on that.
I like this one right here.
What about the one with the red black background of Surfer? I forget what issue it is. I know that one's very expensive too. Yeah, I know someone who does too, Russell. You just come on here to hurt my feelings tonight, or are you going to add anything constructive to the show?
Yeah,
if you're
for
just
real.
here to hurt my feelings, you can save that for the hunt.
So I'm not really wanting to buy right now. I think we have plenty of time for things to get worse, which is
you should have
terrible to say.
seen Russell last night on the hunt. Whenever I did what I did, I love his reaction when I go back and watch him and Chris give the best reaction to the incredibly crazy stuff that I do on there, which honestly, would probably be entertaining to show these guys a little bit of what I did last night. I don't even think you watched it, Nick.
Mm-mm.
Part of my stunt at the end did not work because I was not anticipating on 24-mile-an-hour winds, 30-degree weather, and a lighter that would not
Well,
light.
don't take away from Tony's views. Drop the link in there, and then people can go watch it after we leave.
They're not going to, though. Nobody's going to go do that. You show them clips, and they're like, "Oh shit, I want to make
But if
sure
you
I
show them
tune
all the
in and
good
watch
stuff,
next
I
time."
wouldn't go.
I want to get them to come in and watch next time. I want people to tune in live. That's the problem. We'll have a show where at the end of the show it'll be like 140 views. The next morning, that show will be at over 1,000 views. I'm like, why do y'all not watch live, man? Like y'all are always watching the replays. Watch it live, man. Participate in the voting.
Mm.
I told my wife, I was like, I don't know why I did not get a torch lighter or something, because that one lighter that we have to use it to light our stove because the strikers have been out since we moved in, and that thing, I have been having trouble with it for like 6 months now. I still have not bought one. But
That's a cool Batman book, actually.
we forgot about it. I was going to use matches, and I was like, well, this wind is not going to allow for matches.
Dude, that sucks. 15 minutes ago, this was posted. That's one of those books I really want, one of these Batman books.
Yeah, I'd love to have one of those Golden Age. I want the Batmobile on the cover, the first Batmobile on the cover. I think it's number 20. Yeah. John had one, and I hated
What up, Splash Page?
I hated that I missed out on it. So did that. They had a Djurvic variant 9.8 on there for like 20 minutes that sold this week, dude.
That's right, Benny. I need some 2020 prices.
Nah,
Look, we know Marvel's already ruined.
2019 prices are even better.
We know Marvel's already ruined some of the creme de la creme. You know, I'm fully expecting them to ruin Galactus and Surfer and all of these other ones too. So I'm thinking if I wait a few months, see what happens, I might be able to get some good deals at a con.
I just realized you're wearing that shirt again. Is that like you're gonna wear that every week shirt now?
I don't know. It's just so comfortable and it's beyond amazing. Although I was giving my daughter a bath and she got water in her face. And so she sticks her face into my shirt to get the water out of her eyes and just wipes snot all over me right here. And I didn't realize it till I was already sitting down. Like, fantastic. But if I put the microphone here, you guys can't really tell. But I mean, it is beyond amazing. I mean, look at this thing. Would you look at this? It's beyond amazing. All right, you want to wrap things up, and the way you can get up and go to, because it's already what, after midnight your time?
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to be up and at 'em early. And then next week we can do our mistakes.
I don't care how uncomfortable Nick gets. Nick doesn't want me to show this because it makes him uncomfortable.
No, I don't. It makes me wildly uncomfortable.
He's like, oh my God, this is my brother. I'm so uncomfortable because I don't have the stones. So if you guys have never tuned into The Hunt, we do it every other Friday on Tony Sanders' channel.
I want to say thank you for saving the show.
Over 700. Wow, he really just rolled out.
Here we go with the theatrics.
So we show books off, and the chat votes on which book they like the best.
Mortal Kombat.
The last round.
He got the newsstand.
The 9.6 Mortal Kombat.
You don't know.
Now, if you guys know me, you know that I don't have a 9. I don't mess with a 9.6 newsstand Mortal Kombat. I got 9.
Those existed. Well, now they do.
Yeah, I didn't know they had a newsstand in there.
So that's Mortal Kombat. That's nice. I'm gonna do a 9.8 Turtles.
And this is the part that I was cracking up because if you guys look at Chris's face, These two guys,
World
their
heavyweight
faces
champion.
killed me.
World title holder once again.
They had me
Free
dying.
and clear. Had enough of his shenanigans, his silence. You know, glad to be the people's champ. Take on all comers. Let's go.
Man, that was a good match, though.
That was a great match, Dustin.
So basically,
you did really well, actually.
We take on like a wrestling persona to use, and it's basically like comic book cover battles, pretty much, with a lot of smack talking, and
Seems
we try
like
to add
he's
like
not
some
happy about
entertainment and
that.
storylines and stuff. But
Jesus, man,
but yeah, Russell's face there had me
that was a
dying.
wild one there, people. I don't know what to tell you on that one. Woo! Whoa.
Okay. Do we have extra security in
That
back?
was-
Just because I feel like there's a lot of backstage stuff right now.
So it was fun. If you guys have never tuned into that, go check it out. There, Nick, you can stop being uncomfortable and hiding.
Sorry, I was reading about a shooting here.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. So the next show is gonna be in 2 weeks, and Bleeker and I are gonna do an Inferno match. And so Stacking 9, if you watch that show from last night, you'll see that I kind of did something like that with that Mortal Kombat 9-6. Now I'm not gonna reveal how I did it. But y'all know I don't have no 9-6 in a Mortal Kombat book. I don't play that. But in 2 weeks we're gonna do an Inferno match where we're both putting up a book, like a good book. Like he's putting up a TMNT Adventures #1 9.8 newsstand Canadian price variant, and I'm putting up a TMNT #1 Mirage Studios, the real deal #1. And whoever loses has to burn their book live on camera. So that's what we're going to be doing in 2 weeks. So if you guys are interested in seeing how that goes, you guys come check it out, because somebody's going to be burning thousands. Or are they? Or are they?
Well, that seems a bit harsh.
Hey, it's all about stepping it up to the next level in entertainment value, man. That's what it's about. Yeah, definitely. Go subscribe to it's Tony Sanders on YouTube, or you can hit me up on Instagram. I can shoot you the link to the videos and stuff. But every 2 weeks we do them, and I tend to be the one that goes to the extreme and embarrasses my little brother. He's extremely embarrassed of me and my antics and the things that I do on there. But he'll live. He'll live. Someone should still eat a Morbius comic. That seems more like a Whack Comics kind of thing. I'm pretty sure they have actually eaten comic books in their videos. So go check out Whack Comics, and that is something you would it has been done. I'm pretty sure they made like comic book cereal one time. So you go check those guys out for that. Chris Barrett, maybe a little bit. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that Houdat thought I was.
No, it'll never happen. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, Nick does not have the cojones to
No, we won't say
out there
cojones
like that.
So I don't think that's the right phrase for it, but
I don't know. I think it takes a giant set of testicles to do the things that I do on there.
everyone has their own opinions.
Testicles and talent, both. And I have immense amounts of both. So
What? Hold on. Was this? What? I swore I saw this. How long ago was this? Because I feel like I've heard of this before.
Was it that Pete bastard?
Oh man,
that fat trailer park bastard that
what
sits
was
there
his
and
name?
talks
Because
shit to people and then tears up books that they want to buy just to be a dickhead.
something, yeah, there was something very weird surrounding this story, if I remember right.
I've heard several things about that Pete guy, and I watched a couple of it, and I was like,
yeah, that Pete dude.
I was like that Pete dude, like he
It
needs
was
to,
wild.
yeah.
Who's
He's
the
one of
dude that
those,
used to wear the
he's one of
mask during the
those
Facebook Live
internet
shows?
bad guys too, boy. He thinks he's tough as hell, but I guarantee you he ain't never popped off in real life because he'd have had that ass whooped a long time.
Who's the guy that wears the masks on the Facebook Lives?
Oh, he wears like a luchador mask. I don't know.
I was talking with Josh today about what we used to do on Facebook Live shows.
Okay, he said it was, yeah.
Uh-oh, guys, we missed it. Dang it, we missed it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Peddling Pete's married to his first cousin.
We missed it.
Well, here we go.
Did he drop that?
I know a lot of you have been
46 minutes
anticipating
ago.
this video. And yes, like
This
I
was a
posted on
big
my
shock,
Instagram,
wasn't it?
I'm no longer
Did
under
not see
contract,
this coming.
sponsorship, or partnership with Whatnot. That ended as of November, I believe. So it's been a little while. I was a little confused on the dates, but got that worked out. Anyway, I wanted to do my honest review on my 12-month contract with Whatnot. I believe it was the longest contract that they signed for a influencer or comic book influencer at the time, just because of what I was.
We've been
Right,
talking
that's all
about
you guys are going to get to
and
see
in this
because
video,
you
I
need to
want
go
to talk
watch
to you guys
Bueller.
about basically.
Blake. So Justin got all the box sets, and I have them on my list on Right Stuff, but I have not bought them yet. But I have been reading them. One Piece is fun.
The truth about everything that I can experience with Whatnot.
Well, I'm probably going to stay up and watch this. So do you guys want to watch it? Or
I'm gonna
no, y'all
state
need to
facts.
watch it on Bueller's
They
channel.
need to go watch it on
If there's
Bueller.
anything
You'll
in
watch it
dispute here, please,
backstage.
whoever is watching, feel free.
Well, once we're done, I'm probably going to have to go exit some coffee. I am very curious. And I was looking at the comments. And nothing's really posted yet. But I wonder if he names Jack. Because that's really the big thing. Nah, you need to watch it on Bueller's channel. All right. I think let's end it here, and then everybody can go watch it. Watch it there.
Yeah.
I like his stickers. We need to send him some.
I need to get some stickers made for my pressing and cleaning.
I
can just slap one on the side of his bus when he comes to see me and not tell him.
I told him he needs to spray paint the bus, but do it on video so he can use it as a tax write-off for content. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure everything about that bus is a tax write-off for content.
Yes, but I still think it'd be an awesome video to see. All right, guys, y'all go watch Bueller's. Thanks for hanging out. Next week, we'll actually talk about the topic, maybe.
Southern Comic Geek says, "Shit, Nick, you are a shit, Nick."
No. He's referring to other action items. Guys, you're the best part of Bueller's comics.
Jason, are you coming to Huntsville this year again? I hope we'll see you there. Jason, you need to go to Heroes Con, dude. Like, I don't care if you have to, like, erase all other shows from your schedule this year. You, my friend, would love Heroes Con. I'm telling you, it is a comic book show for people like us who don't give a damn. Well, I don't know. You do like a lot of the artists and celebrities, so you may miss out on some of that. Heroes Con is 100% for people like me who could give a damn about all that just wants to go and look at comic books. I don't want to see nothing else. Don't show me nothing else. They have celebrities and artists and stuff there, but those guys all get pushed to the back. And there is just more comic books than you could ever dream of looking at in the amount of time you have in that 4-day period. Beautiful. Yes, it is Father's Day weekend, I think. I'm not sure.
Well,
so I will be celebrating Father's Day with comic books, baby.
All right.
I guess that means Nick's like, well, I'm not going now.
Dude, Father's Day, it's the family time. You only get so many of those before your kids hate you.
No, Father's Day is about the father doing what the father wants to do. And I'm taking my ass to Carolina.
Guys, you'll have a wonderful night. Go watch this. Go to Bueller's channel. Let's see if Jack messed him up like he messed us up.
Do, 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 do.
There's not so much whatnot. It's just Jack.
Yeah.
We love you. We need you. Hardy Boy Chevrolet. I don't know how that came to mind. Hold on. Let's redo that. We love you. We need you. Two Brothers Comics. My best redneck voice. And then look, you have Trinity's face down here. He's live.
Trinity, my man. Yeah, I was supposed to be there, Jason, but my ride failed, so I didn't get to go. I'm supposed to go to the Dallas Fan Expo, but then I realized that it is the weekend before Heroes Con, so now I have to figure it. Now it's just going to be a matter of if I'm going to have the money to do both, because I've already stated before I will never skip Heroes again. So hopefully, I'll be working soon. I don't know. We'll see. I had 13 hours this week, so
dang, good thing you've been selling comic books.
That is literally the only thing that has kept me afloat this year.
He says Jack 2 minutes in. All right, I'm excited.
If it was not
now.
for that, I would be homeless.
I hope we need to tell Bueller to tag us on all his Instagram stuff. I'll make it my life's purpose to get this out here more.
Well, I mean, he's like got 3 times as many subs as us, so I'm pretty sure as out there as it's going to get as far as like,
technically he's 5
he's up to 24. Never mind.
Yeah, but that's okay. I can still help push it. If it's 4 more views, that's all that matters.
Yeah. Well, maybe people will start to see that we weren't just being crybabies and dickheads about what we said, that we were actually just telling the truth. Because I know a lot of people think we were just being crybabies and sour grapes.
Oh, no, because we showed contracts and
like receipts. I said, that if we could give a shit about that money, that wasn't even close to being the issue. So, all right, guys, we all have a great rest of your weekend. If you're going to be at the Atlanta Comic Book Convention tomorrow, I will be there, and hopefully I'll see you guys there. Other than that, hopefully we'll get some content out this week. And if we do, make sure you guys check that out. And as always, guys, collect your way. Woo!